What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is the Manchester United Unfiltered podcast. I hope everybody's well, even though we're probably not well. Just in general health. I hope everybody's good in terms of health. I don't know if YouTube is back, if it's still lagging.
I think it's back.
It is lagging.
I think it's normal now.
Yeah.
I think so. That's what someone told me, that it's back to normal. But the chat will let us know anyway.
They wanted this anyway. They wanted to see these tears. It is what it is. Big up to Usman, says great match reaction. You kept it real. Yeah, check it out if you want to check it out. But yeah, Ash, how are you? Before anything else, is life all right for you? Is life all right apart from football?
Yeah, life's good, mate. But you know, United, they just try and bring you into depression, don't they? So what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, life's good. Kids are good. Family's good. We're all good. Touch wood. Everything's looking all right, but I mean, what's it mean if United aren't winning and United aren't performing well? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yep. Absolutely. Double A, we saw each other today. I mean, yeah, listen, we'll get into it, but I know you're well anyway, so I'll
Well, don't take this the wrong way, Saeed, but I was having a fantastic day until I saw you.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, obviously we heard the rumors about Varane just as I saw you, so my day was going bad from there. I mean, we'll unpack everything. I'm really not. I could rant or cry on this show tonight.
Whatever makes you feel better, Double A, man.
I'm feeling
here for you, man. Safe space, man.
I need that virtual hug off you guys this evening.
We got you, man. We got you.
I'm quite.
We got you, man. Definitely, we got you.
It's good to be back. I've not been on for a few weeks. It's good to finally be back. Technical issues and all that. I had to go and sort myself out a brand new MacBook, which obviously needs must. This is the best therapy on a Sunday evening, as we all know. So it's good to finally be back amongst the boys. Good to meet Ash for the first time as well.
You two, the work.
Yeah, looking forward to talking about this kind of.
Yeah, big up to Flawless as well. I hope you haven't got Rashford or Bruno on the back of that one, because
I don't put no names or numbers on the back.
I'm
You know what I'm saying? This guy got. I'm glad to hear good spirits, man. You got jokes in it. You know what? Because you was there, I let that one go.
To hide away the pain. It's to hide away the pain. It's to hide away the pain.
It's all good, but yeah, no name and number on the back of this. You know what I'm saying? It's blank, thankfully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's get straight into it. Big up to the super chat said, deep breath, lads, my only advice. Big up to United. Fuad Kodani says, United fans in 2022, Eric Ten Hag signs 3 year for you. Eric is process 18 months later, Eric Ten Hag out. Keep sacking by 2026. 7 managers will have 8 different set of players. And this club is putrid from top to bottom. No manager can succeed with the Glazers. Big up to Freddie, man. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Double A rant as well incoming. Guys, man, where do we go from here, man? Because that for me, listen, it doesn't take a lot for me to turn on a manager and whatnot. But I'm not saying that this is his whole fault, by the way. If you watch the match reaction, you could see that there's so many issues with the football club. But sorry, lads, it's absolutely inexcusable what Ten Hag put out there. The tactics for me, the players are a disgrace, and we'll get onto them as well. But Ten Hag's tactics today, Ten Hag's managing of the game today, absolutely awful. Substitutions awful. Personnel in the team awful. Favorites FC, it's all written all over it. It's a joke. But Ash, talk to me. How did you see the game? Did you see it differently to me? I mean, how are you feeling right now?
Mate, I thought we did fantastic. You know, when you consider that it wasn't, 8-0, 9-0 or whatever, I thought we did all right. When you consider that's how bad it was. I'm looking at it thinking 3-0, okay, we didn't get demolished there. But nah, I mean, it's not good enough, is it? You see with Eric Ten Hag and, Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans at the back and Lindelof. And I mean, what is that back line? Rashford just not putting in any kind of performance.
You're breaking up, Saeed.
Mike, Saeed, you're breaking up there, mate.
Mike's breaking up. Yeah.
All right.
Mike was breaking up.
Listen, I can carry on. Yeah. So it's just Marcus Rashford, innit? Do you know what I mean? Where's the kid gone? I mean, you could say, all right, he had a bit of a fluky patch last season with his finishing ability and general overall play. He wasn't adding much to the team. But yeah, it's poor, innit, Saeed? It's just that back four, mate, And Rashford, and Bruno, and McTominay. United will never control or dictate games with McTominay in the midfield. That will never happen. It's just never going to happen. And the fact that the manager can't see that, don't know what's happening. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to rest it all on Medjugorje and Hannibal and all that. But how Hannibal got into the team, putting a semi-decent performance against Burnley, a best performance of the season really against Crystal Palace. And then he's gone missing since. What's happened to him? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's madness. Yeah. So I don't know. We got so much to talk about. Everything's wrong. There's nothing right. What is right?
No, 100%, man. No, I agree with you. And you know what's mad, yeah? Double A, we were talking about the football pitch. We thought it was an injury. The fact that Ten Hag said it was tactical reasons why we didn't play Varane, that is just not on. You got Reguilon, who you bought as an emergency. But then you're flipping playing Reguilon. I mean, he's sacking himself, man. He's sacking himself. I'm sorry. You're making these daft decisions, yeah? That's on you, bro.
I genuinely think at the moment the manager is lost. He's in a mate. He has no idea where he is. I don't think he understands what he's doing. To keep your best defender, and I say this, every centre back we have fully fit, Varane is still our best defender in terms of talent, in terms of what he brings to the team. To not play him in this game, which is vitally important, it's scandalous. And we want to back this man as much as we can because he gave us that little bit of hope last season. And you want to believe in something as a fan of your football club, and you want to be the best you can be. And we thought this man was going to do that. And I think this season he's showing his weaknesses, and he's showing maybe he's not the right man. And I'm not sitting here saying it's Eric Ten Hag out or anything like that. I'm not saying I want the manager changing. And I say that because I know we've been down this road so many times before. When we sack a manager, or when we don't back a manager properly, or we do back a manager properly, but he buys the wrong players, we start a cycle again. I can't sit here and do this again for another 2 seasons. I have a good first season, then another shit second season, and then he's getting sacked, and the fans are turning on. Ten Hag out. He's already on Twitter tonight. I'd be surprised if it's not trending. You know what I mean? I'm seeing people whose opinions in football I rate tweeting out Ten Hag out already. And look, they can't afford to sack him anyway. because they've got no money. So who do you bring in? And do we wreck another young manager's career with De Zerbi? People mentioned. I mean, Graham Potter getting mentioned absolutely terrifies the life out of me. But Eric Ten Hag is not helping himself. And even before the game, he's coming out and saying Rashford's going to play anyway, so until he gets it right. What example are you setting to players that are trying to get in the team? You're a young player like Garnacho who comes on and shits all over anything Rashford's done this season. I'm not saying Garnacho is fantastic, a world-class player and should be starting, but I've seen more from him this season than I've seen from Rashford. So if you're telling a young player that it doesn't matter what you do when you get a chance, Rashford's going to play anyway. And you saw the reaction. If he was in the ground, and you probably heard it on TV, you heard the reaction when he brought Højlund off for Rashford today. That's twice he's done that now, and it stinks. And I don't care whether you think, well, Højlund was doing nothing anyway. He's not given a chance to anything, but he still was playing better than Rashford for me. And Ten Hag, for me, right now, like I say, not Ten Hag out in any way, shape, or form, but he's on a slippery slope. And if he doesn't hold the brakes very, very soon, sadly for him, and we've seen it with this club so many times, there's only one way he's going, and that's out the door.
Big up to Ledu, says Saeed, I called this fraud out since February. I was insulted, I was cursed at, called all sort of names. He has no clue what he's doing, in my opinion. To be fair, you were consistent in your opinion, Ledu. Adam Fahimi, big up to you. Goes absolute disgrace. Eric Ten Hag has lost it. Yeah, big up to Adam. Eric Ten Hag has lost it. Can't defend him. His insistence on Rashford and Bruno will get him sacked. Our worst two players will never win with him. I mean, flawless, man. Like, you know, I said it many, many times on this channel. I said Ten Hag will sack himself. Yeah, he doesn't even need to take me to say even Ten Hag out, because it's like, we know what this guy doing, and it just feels to me like this stubbornness. I don't know where it's getting him, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, Højlund literally is trying. He's trying to hold up the play. Nobody wants to pass to him, but yet he takes off him and then puts Rashford up front, who is absolutely dog shite up front. Everybody knows Rashford's so poor up front, but yet he sticks him up front and thinks, yeah, that's the solution. He takes off Amrabat. Okay, he's had a poor first half, and then he magically puts out Eriksen, McTominay, and Bruno thinks we're going to get more of the ball. Are you like, nothing what Ten Hag is doing makes sense? So for me, how can I back it blindly? I'm being injustice to myself, Flawless.
Yeah,
because I can't see anything.
You're right. Yeah, you're spot on. Like, I can't add to any. Well, I can't add, but everything you said, I'm just gonna echo further, just in different words. Very telling at the top of the show. Everything you said, mentioned, Saeed, about this game is insert team here. We've been playing this way. The manager's been doing this. When you talk about personnel, we've spoken about personnel literally all season long. We've talked about his poor substitutions all season long. We've talked about the poor performance from the team all season long. We've spoken on the players up front and in the attacking areas not delivering. We've spoken on our back line. All of these things is take Manchester City out of there and put Sheffield United, insert Brentford, insert Brighton, insert whoever we've played against, minus Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. It's the same thing. It's rinse and repeat. And what Double A said was very telling is the manager's lost the plot, and we are literally watching a manager cave under pressure. I genuinely don't think Ten Hag has just turned a bad manager overnight. I don't believe that's the case. I believe it's when you are at Manchester United, and we've seen many top players come here and fail, and we're watching it with a good manager. If once Ten Hag will get sacked. I've already said, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I've said it before, and I say it again. It's a question of when he gets sacked, not if, because you can't continue to perform like this. You can't continue to get bad results and keep your job. There's nothing like being under the spotlight at Manchester United. Nothing like your every move is watched like you are the prime minister of the country. That's legit what it's like. Everything you do, even off the football pitch, everything you say in press conferences, Double A there mentioned in regards to what he said about Rashford, which is just absolute. Like, I fought it, but I didn't want to know that I was right. When he's saying, I'm going to play this man regardless. So Rashford can literally play from now, do you know what I'm saying there? The start of November, because we're almost in November, till April bad, and I'm just going to play him through bad form. It's like, why does Rashford get that so much faith? Now, if that was Mbappe, I maybe hear it. Because you're a generational talent. As good as Rashford can be, he's not a generational talent. And you have someone there in Garnacho who can perform to a certain level. But you and legit stubbornness, ego, and we're watching him legit cave under pressure. That's what's going on with him. He's caving under pressure because none of his decision making is making any sense. Whether I agree or disagree with the manager, I'm always like, all right, maybe I disagree with something the manager did, but I can understand why. I have no idea why. And it started with me, with Mason Mount. That was the first big red flag for me. That was the one for me where I was like,
it's not even starting games though.
I said,
forget
you know why? You know why he's not starting games? Because the managers realized that, hey, this guy is not that good. But we watched him. Surely you watched him. Like, this is what makes no sense. And he's performing exactly in a red shirt in South Manchester, the same way he performed in a blue shirt in West London. What difference was it going to be? What was the difference? I heard he had 8 passes in the second half. That's just him. I'm saying, like, that tells you all you need to know. And this is not me just getting at him because everyone was bad. Don't get it mistaken, people. Yeah. Everyone was bad, but we're legit watching the manager. Hey, yeah. Give Onana his credit. Yeah, but like dropping Varane. Why would you drop Varane in this game? Why? He's without doubt your best centre back. It's not a question. Like, if someone wants to say Martinez is close, cool. Martinez is not there. So it's even less of a debate. Like, why are you not starting Rafael Varane? Why is Reguilon not starting at left back? Whether you rate Reguilon or not, I'm not high on him. One thing he is an actual left back. Lindelof is not a left back, number one, and number two, someone who's been underperforming the entire season. He don't perform well as a centre back. He don't perform well in the position he's supposed to be good at. But yet you move him to left back and watch him underperform week in, week out there, and then play him at home to Manchester City. And I'm sure we'll get into the game, but that's the worst part of the game is just please don't embarrass us. That's all I wanted. Forget the result. Don't embarrass us. They had one job and they couldn't even do that, but we'll get into that. But yeah, the managers don't get sacked.
A big up to everybody watching 2.5k in here. Make sure you're liking the video if you can, please. Subscribe if you're new. Nedu says here he exiled Sancho for not training properly, but he watched half of the players walk on the pitch, but dominate another 90 minutes. Really? Oh my God, I am done. Sham says here Varane has played Champions League finals, World Cup finals, and the Classicals, but dropping it for tactical reasons is hilarious when he's your best box defender. As Flawless alluded to, exactly. Lolly says here, Saeed, Eric Ten Hag has no style, no plan, stubborn, poor subs, bad man measurement, ego, favoritism, repeated novice mistakes, yet you're acting like Eric Ten Hag out is a curse word. He's doing this him to himself. Faisal says, Arsenal fan, Eric Ten Hag hasn't had enough players, but has made poor signings with the few he's had. If you back him, it flops. You have a squad of players, and then the next manager may not want, and it's the same cycle. Absolutely. It takes off Rashford. He gets sacked. Player power, says Mayobi. United TV says when you continue to pick players that have gotten 2 managers sacked, you get what you deserve. Every time I see McTominay in the 11, I want to vomit. Sensei says, how do United fans feel about Alonso becoming next manager? Play amazing football, young and experienced, has a presence about him. Ex-Liverpool though.
I know what Double A got to say. I know what Double A
said the same thing about Ten Hag. Ten Hag was that person.
Yeah.
He was the next big thing. So listen, I think what people forget, and we often moan about it, and it seems like we're spoiled brats because we keep saying it. It doesn't matter what manager comes into Manchester United, they will all fail. It's above them where it is rotten. They're not built for success. They won't back a manager in the correct way. I'm not saying they have to go and splurge 200, 400, 500 million. That's not the backing we're talking about. It's having the ability to clear the shit coaches that we have at this club that have been there since Van Gaal and Ollie and Jose. We've still got the same coaches. They're allowed to bring in 3 or 4 people of their own, and they're stuck with coaches that have failed year upon year upon year. We need to clear house and everything. And people who are dedicated and good at their job above the manager that can help him be a success. We are not built for that. So it doesn't matter what manager comes in, honestly.
And just to this, do we trust the process like Arsenal did with Arteta? What's Arteta win with Arsenal?
Yeah.
When we talking about process, like what? Yeah, like what successes Arteta had at Arsenal? that I missed.
But the thing is as well, you look at Ten Hag and there's a few warning signs. I mean, signing Anthony for 80 million, that's a warning sign in itself. Do you know what I mean? What happened there? You know, giving him the massive amount, 5-year contract to Casemiro, that's a warning sign. A small warning sign, sending Alvaro Fernandez out on loan when we've got no left backs. Do you know what I mean? This season, there's warning. Getting rid of Fred and potentially having no replacement for him. Do you know what I mean? That there's warning signs with Erik Ten Hag, and it's worrying because at the moment you're seeing Lindelof still play at left back. You're seeing Rashford being given as many games as he wants. And what does that do to a player? When you say to a player, doesn't matter how you perform, you've still got your place in the team. I mean, what's that? Yeah. Does that make a player?
There's no, bro. How's that accountability? Like, if I'm training, this is why for me, I didn't want to get on Sancho. I'll be honest with you. And there was people out there backing. I was like, hold on a minute. There's favourites in the football team. So when you actually look at it, if he's training or whatnot, it's like, what do I do to get in this team? When certain men are still playing regardless. So I do hear the frustration of Sancho. And I did hear what Ten Hag has to say. There's no right or wrong. But ultimately, are we doing any better?
Ollie did the same thing. He had his favourites. Donny van de Beek couldn't get in a team when we're playing McFred every fucking week, who stunk the gaff out every single week. Every manager has favourites. Sancho didn't do anything before Ten Hag come. With Ollie.
I get that. But what he did was he pulled Sancho under the bus for me and then tried to blame it all on him when I knew there was bigger issues. So I said to myself, hold on a minute then. Let's take Sancho out the firing line. Let's see if we played any better. Whippy do. We don't play no fucking better. Every single one of them. That's his decisions. What he's doing out there.
We don't play better. But here's the thing is, forget like Sancho being involved like on the pitch. That's not my argument. I have no issue. Like I said it last week, said it countless times. We should have moved Sancho in the summer. Where Ten Hag has shot himself in the foot is saying Sancho's not playing and not in the squad because he doesn't train well enough. But then on the flip side, he's saying to Rashford, doesn't matter how you perform in games, not in training. So one player, he said, it doesn't matter how you perform in games, you're going to play regardless. Then he has another player on the flip side who plays similar position, same position, and going, you are not training well enough to get into the squad. That is legit chalk and cheese. You can't do things like that and not expect criticism, especially when you're not getting results. Forget everything else. That's not fair. I've already said, when it comes to Sancho and the training, I can't comment because I don't know. I've not watched Sancho in training. I don't know if he's putting it in or training or not. But how come this man can't get in the squad? Not first team. We have a player who cannot get in the squad because he's not training well. But yet we have a player for 3 months now who hasn't performed well, who the manager has come out publicly, not privately, publicly and said, no matter how he plays, he's going to keep his position. That is just playing on.
You know what? It's principles for me. Let me get the Reddit super chat here. Knowledge says Erik Ten Hag first mistake was abandoning his style of play 2 games into the season cowardly. Second was adapting to players instead of letting players adapt to his style. Big Ben's big up to you says his tactical setup is all under criticism. His signings sit on the bench and they don't perform. Is it fair to Lindelof when you have a left back on the bench? Adam Fahimi says not only is Rashford not generational talent, flawless, but is he even a talent? He's shocking, and that is even generous. Release him will be better for him. Well, we can't release him now because the club has forged out 350 grand a week. That's what we can't do. Glory, Man United, fossil football, and dead club. And what did Erik Ten Hag to emulate City in training? And the last one here from Knowledge says, when the club hired Erik Ten Hag, wasn't it for what he did at Ajax? He came to United and he died in 2 games and turned into a coward. Don't tell me no manager can win at the club. The manager itself is self-sabotaging. You know, I had a guy today behind me. He was like, he wants to go back to Ajax. I had a guy behind me saying he wants to go back to Ajax, so that's what he's doing this for. And I was like, bro, no, but seriously, what he's doing on the football pitch, I'm like, can someone explain to me what he's actually doing? And
it's pressure getting to him. That's why he's making these fugazi decisions. What is it? Pressure makes diamonds or burst pipes. We see it. We're watching it in 4K. That's why he's doing things that make no sense. Because in regards to, we know the ownership's bad to the second to last super chat. However, on the flip side, that doesn't excuse certain decision the manager is making. Playing Varane today has nothing to do with ownership. Not playing Varane today, sorry. That is nothing to do with ownership. Same way not playing Reguilon is nothing to do with ownership. Same way starting McTominay is nothing to do with ownership. Is there certain things that had to do with the ownership? Yes. But certain like substitutions, his subs have been terrible all season long. Where on the flip side, last season, his substitutions were great. Our subs scored more goals than any other substitutes in any than any other club last season. So you can get it right. This is why when people, if we're talking the top of the top, then the ownership becomes an issue. But being a functional, organized outfit, there's teams worse than us that are like that. There's teams battling relegation who are more organized and more of a functional unit than us. Like, what are we talking about? That's on the manager. But again, this comes to pressure getting to him. And we know these players ain't, the players ain't going to bail him out. He was over. He had to over. He had to overexceed his. Yeah, the players ain't gonna bail him out in terms of performances. We know that much. He had to overexceed last season. He had to be managing at the highest of the highest level to win us a trophy and get us third. Not even top major trophies. That tells you where we're at. And this is why I said we needed major improvements all summer long, and we did get that wrong in the summer because the signings weren't it. But hey.
Surreal says everyone talks about Ten Hag and Arteta. United need a do. Having the balls to call up the squad and start again. Throwing money at the problem will not work. That's spot on. Director of football needed. Fuad Kudani's arm says Pogba, Lingard, Matic, Bailly, Telles, Cavani. See where they play now, how they play, if they play. People expect 10 years mess to resolve in 18 months, just like that. I don't think anybody's expecting everything to change, but we need to see something. United ATV says Ragnick's open heart surgery is hitting so hard right now. These players are rotten. Get a sporting manager centered around young talent, great young talent. JJ Asher, smash like people. Your emotional support needed more than ever now. Big up Said and the lads. Late. No, I'm not going to read that bit, but yeah, big up to you, mate. Surely Mount was signed for the games like this.
He was.
Yeah, we'll get onto that as well. Teamer says you sack Ten Hag, the next manager will have Ten Hag, Oli, Jose, and even LVG players. No one can work with such a mishmash of shite. Again, I agree with you.
The reason why I disagree with that because we watched Ten Hag win last season.
In elements. Yeah,
we watched him win. We watched him win last season. What are we talking about? You don't do what he did last season on accident. Was it pretty? No, but he got. How do we have the second best home record? How?
Yeah. But you know what is though, Flawless, yeah? I understand he worked well with it last season, but you know what? You need to see evolution, guys. You need to see something that I feel like it needs to take it to the next level. You know, you don't just think about what worked last season. You have to then get to the next level. And my thing is, guys, and I'll come to Ash here, like, do you think we've gone better than last season? Because I think we've regressed. The football's not any better. I said, on my match reaction, we don't need to be watching out for Arsenal or Man City anymore. We need to be watching out for Brighton, watching out for Newcastle, Villa, them teams there. That's our level right now. And even them guys are better than us in terms of what they're trying to do. Look at Villa.
Yeah, Villa are a better team than us. I mean, you look at their squad, you look at their fullbacks, even the centre-back pairing, what was it last season? Concert and Mings. You take that over Evans and Maguire all day, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? You know, you look at the fullbacks, Matty Cash and Luca Digne. You take them two over our fullbacks, the same with the centre mids. You know, it's madness, and that just shows part of it's down to the recruitment. We are still playing with Lindelof, with Maguire. I mean, bringing Johnny Evans back, don't get me wrong, you know, you've done well for the club and all that, but the fact that we brought Johnny Evans back, that just signifies everything that's wrong with this club. Do you know what I mean? You know, we should have been looking at Kim Min-jae, Todibo, whoever, who the manager wanted. Now, again, you can make the argument against what I'm saying here and say, yeah, the manager got the players that he did want, or he's got the players that he's got, and he's still continuing to use those players rather than bringing in some of the younger, fresher lads. And I agree with that. That's the problem for me, is essentially that Rashford's still playing. Garnacho's not being given a run of 5 games. You know, why is Garnacho not getting a run of 2, 3, 4, 5 games to get himself into form? We've seen what Rashford has done over the last 5, 6 games. It's not been good enough, right? Let's rotate. Let's give Rashford a little bit of a rest. Let him sit down. Let him settle. Let him realise, you know, what he needs to do and what he needs to achieve in his game or whatever. And then. You know, just keep doing that with the left backs, with the centre backs. It's just a bit of rotation. But the fact that he's continuing to play with players like Bruno, Mason Mount over Bruno, is it going to be that much of a drop off to drop Bruno, bring in Mason Mount? Do you know what I mean? Let's see what he can do in that kind of role. But there's no questions being asked of the players in the team right now. They're just being allowed to continue just throwing stinky performances, you know, without any repercussions. And they're going to continue to throw in stinky performances because there is no repercussions. They know that no matter what happens, they're going to be in the team next week. You know, they're going to continue to get paid. They're going to continue to get the plaudits from the manager. And what's worrying is hearing him come and talk after the game and say it was a great performance, you know, and the lads did well, and the structure was nice. And what are we watching? That's scary in itself.
Man. It was a training ground. It's a training ground.
Battered.
City didn't play well. City didn't play well, you know, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, Man City did not play well today. I'm telling you right now, they played not even like, bro, they were walking around, just passing it around.
I've heard apparently rumours tonight that City are looking to buy Old Trafford, turn it into a second training ground, because every time they turn up, it's just absolute training session every single time. Dig out a second gear. When you're seeing, and this is what really frustrates me the most out of everything, and someone was saying the reason why is because the players we have aren't good enough. I don't care. You don't allow City to stroll around with the ball the way that these Manchester United players would do and be absolutely nowhere near him. Take a yellow card, smash into someone. You need to do something. You need to show something. And what is worrying from this Manchester United team is the lack of not only fight and commitment. It's just a lack of balls, the lack of anything to say, we get it, we understand, we're supposed to be Manchester United players. When you look at it, and Rashford is the biggest culprit of this. And listen, I was getting into an argument with someone sitting behind me tonight because he walked.
What did they say?
So when he got subbed off, he walked right past me. Obviously, I made rolls from the front. And I was giving it in, mate. I'd lost my head.
Yeah, of course.
Fraud, money grabbing. See you next Tuesday. He was getting it. Some old geezer behind me was like, he doesn't deserve that. He does. He does. When you put in a performance like that in a Manchester derby, you deserve everything you get, because this kid thinks because he's born and raised Manchester United fan, they've thrown a contract at him, biggest in the club's history or whatever. Stuck with him for 5 years. He can do what the fuck he wants. You can't Marcus Rashford. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. And being allowed to continue to play like that, like Flawless is saying, that the manager's going to play you regardless. I can't watch him keep doing this every single time. The lack of wanting to fight for a ball. He don't jump for a ball. I've never seen a striker mistime something so he doesn't have to commit and jump or get bashed or get knocked over or just... You know, he's almost a crash test dummy. He just runs into walls fucking consistently. 5 players, he just runs into him. He doesn't think. He's got a low IQ. I'm bored of it, Saeed. I'm absolutely bored of this player.
No, I hear you.
Dragging this team down when, like, these young players who deserve to get a chance. Pellistri, one of them. Garnacho's another one. And you could talk about Sancho. Like, whatever he did, he must be looking now and thinking, how the fuck is he getting in ahead of me? And Anthony as well. Like,
yeah.
And it just breeds this discontent and this disconnection to the manager, because, like you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you do when you get a chance, or no matter what you do in training, it's fucking useless. You're just going to be sat on the bench again, because you know Marcus Rashford and Bruno are going to play every single game, and there's no coincidence that, yes, it was against their BC team, but the best game we played this season was against Palace at home when neither of them played. That was the best we looked all season. There was more fluidity. We looked a bit sharper. There was little bits of nice play throughout the game, and neither of them played. And then we came back the next game, and it was shit again. So, listen, you can talk about players not playing well, but the manager has to eventually start making some decisions with his balls and not worrying about his job, because these players, as we've seen time and time again, will absolutely sell you down the river. And at the moment, they're passing in both paddles and they're kicking him off down the stream. That's all I can speak, really.
On your Kevin says, any manager that benches Rashford and Bruno with our current owners will be having a word with HR. Bloody hell. Abhishek says, Saeed, stop sitting on the fence. Say the words Eric Ten Hag out. I mean, I don't know what more you want to say, mate. Also, Roy Keane and Bruno should be stripped of captaincy. He should be sold ASAP.
Did you? Hey, Saeed, did you not say in your match reaction that Ten Hag was done? I swear you said that,
he's
right?
done. Yeah,
so that's the same as Ten Hag out. If you're saying he's done,
that's what I'm saying.
I was confused for a second. You said the manager's done. Like, I don't know what more. People
I don't know, man. I'm not even going to explain myself, honestly. Just watch the video, people. Yeah, manager's done, man. Nicholas Walker says, I don't care how we are the finished article, but Ange has managed far more at Spurs in 3 months compared to Ten Hag in 18 months. Clock is ticking. Big Ben says, you are fooling yourselves about last season. United away from home was disastrous. Man United came third because of Chelsea, Spurs, and Poole had a terrible season. I hear that in certain aspects.
Yeah, we were bad away from home, but we still had the 5th, 6th best record. And Chelsea, Spurs, and Poole having a terrible season is not Manchester United's fault. So,
is it like Spurs doing well this season because we're having a bad season?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So by judging by this season, United have been bad this season. Chelsea have also been bad this season. So, Liverpool and Arsenal being in the top 4 is because of Manchester United and Chelsea doing poorly. No, we're not responsible for how other teams perform. We are only responsible for us. So, allow this about Chelsea and Spurs. That's on Chelsea, Spurs, and Poole. So, we supposed to be bad when they're bad.
Chelsea, by the way. With Mud Brothers, we're still together.
Chelsea, though, man.
Lewis, shout out Chelsea, yo. Chelsea, man, let's have a chat. We'll call you tonight. Carefree Lewis Matisse. We'll have a little call tonight. Zoratech TV says, Saeed, I always said it. Ten Hag's a crap manager. We have no style of play, no progression. He has favourites. Well, he's harsh on others. Bruno and Rashford have no accountability. Eric Ten Hag has no balls. Knowledge says, I refuse to believe no manager consistent at will come. They come here and abandon their philosophies because no job means more to them than playing their style. That's the issue with Eric Ten Hag. Jalapeno says, do you expect Man City? Did you actually expect to beat City? We hope for a lucky win and better performance. That's all. Injuries hampered the first games. Otherwise, we'll be fine. Give Eric Ten Hag time. Also, you have to compete.
All I wanted was you're right here, Jalapeno. Like, I just wanted a performance. That's all I asked for. Yeah. All I asked for was that was all I said. Don't embarrass us. Please put in a performance. And what did he go out there and do? Embarrass us. You'll
notice we've not said one thing about Manchester City because all we can talk about is Manchester United and what we've seen on the pitch. Yeah. I thought the best we could get would be a draw. And then I seen the team, and Saeed to tell you, I was close to thinking I'll just go home. To be honest with you,
yeah. Well, honestly,
if I make it to halftime, we've done fucking well. That's what I was thinking at the time.
I bet the City players were buzzing in the dressing room looking at that team. Do you know what I mean? Like, the moment you saw that team, instantly just like I feel like a punch to the gut. It was awful, and that's awful. Down to the manager, innit?
Yeah. We don't need a warm up, lads. Fuck it, fuck this.
Yeah, it's a little training ground, and that's what it was.
He didn't need one.
Zoatek says it's people. If people back Ten Hag, I'm sorry, they don't love this club. They are okay with being mediocre. We have to sack until we get the right man. End of. Listen, you can't. For me, what's the word I'm looking for? Control how people think. Everyone's got their thought process of how things work. I think everybody, doesn't really have an answer because you've seen how many managers get sacked. I might feel a different way about the manager, but I also think that the club is rotten. That's why the whole title of the video is the club is rotten. So I don't think there's any solution. Again, the biggest one, the Glazers have to go, and then you'll see some changes. But ultimately, I can also talk about the football, and it isn't good enough as well.
It's not like the manager's doing a great job, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's doing fantastic. We're just missing out on games, from last minute goals, winning goals from opposition. He's making bad decisions and bad decision after bad decision. So that's why we're questioning, and you're looking at it and you're thinking he needs to kind of turn things around. And if he's not turning things around, as he's not shown, how many opportunities have we had to bounce back after a bad performance? Okay, you can look at Brentford and say last minute winners. Sheffield, poor performance again, 86 minute, whatever it was. That's not good enough. That's not a turning around of fortunes. That's not a situation where the manager's got these players playing better. They're essentially playing the same way they've been playing all season now, and just looking out results almost, throwing McTominay on late against Brentford. A wonder goal from Delo. So, and that's the state of play as it is now. So going forward, we need things to change. And that's what we're saying. We're saying this is not good enough. Ten Hag, whatever you're doing right now, keeping Rashford in the team, keeping Bruno in the team, not giving Medjugorje, not playing Reguilon instead of Lindelof at left back, Varane not playing ahead of Evans or Maguire. I mean, whoever thought of that? The Maguire and Evans. Imagine being sat in the dressing room there at Old Trafford, and you're one of the young lads, or even you're one of the experienced pros, and the boss says, we're going with a tactical decision today. We're going to leave Evans in over Varane, Champions League, World Cup winning Varane. We're going with Evans instead. Like, that's got to be morale. But I mean, what we're talking about? So, of course, with every right to call and say what's going on with Ten Hag, because he's getting it wrong. That's it.
Absolutely. Kide Dixon says, with the exception of the penalty, all the goals from the left-hand side, Eric Ten Hag sat there and watched and did nothing. Took Lindelof off too late. Tima says, imagine Rashford was a foreign player. They boosted that Onana, got Martial, got Pogba, got etc. Some worried, but Rashford has been a disgrace. Rocky said Bruno should not be captain. I didn't even read that. We're treating Rashford like Prime Hazard or Neymar, struggling for form, glorifying shit players and elevating them to undeserved status is how you know you're comfortable in mediocrity.
Never change, Adam, man. Never change, my guy, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Big up to MBGFM says, I see some United fans are still arrogant talking about what success did Arteta have. The man won an FA Cup with a terrible Arsenal side and turned the club around. Every club falls at some point.
How is it arrogance? How is it arrogance asking a question? Somebody said Ten Hag. Yeah. Can you put that to the super chat back up, please? Somebody said, do we stick and trust the process with Arteta? What did Arteta win? Arteta won the FA Cup. That was not his team. Then since then, he spent north of 600 million and they've won nothing. So how is it arrogance? He's turned the club around to what? Arsenal are in their longest trophy drought in the Premier League era. They're currently on their longest trophy drought in the Premier League era, including domestic cups. What success is he having? If Ten Hag had done that, what has he done? Yes, they play better football. They have a better style. That's it. By the end of the day, what do you win? You can't spend, so you can spend 600, 700 million, and as long as you have a style and it looks better, then that's okay, because they ain't winning the Premier League. They ain't winning the Champions League. So they spent all that money for domestic cups. All right, cool. Ain't no arrogance. Let's ask the question. Arsenal are a huge football club. Let's not do that. So let's not treat them like they're Brighton or Brentford or something like that. You spend that amount of money to go and win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. Nobody thinks that Arteta is doing that outside of Arsenal fans, and even that's only some. Like, let's not do this, man. We always try and make things worse than what it is. Manchester United are bad, yes, but use Manchester. Someone says Manchester City, cool. They just won a treble. Don't tell me about Arsenal and what Arteta's done, because he ain't done nothing there. He's won nothing.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. He needs to prove himself as well. Gary 1992 says, "What does Eric Ten Hag want from his wingers because they don't track back or help the fullback? Also, if Rashford meant to be the goal scorer out wide, why bother a centre forward? Because there's no service from wide. I mean, flawless. I mean, no. We had one chance from McTominay, Rashford as well in the second half. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not even creating chances, man. I just thought it was a training ground, flawless today, man. And we done so much to kind of contain Man City. I get it; they're a better footballing team than us, but." No wingers. Like, okay, Rashford's on the left wing, but Bruno Fernandes on the right wing. Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to service for Højlund? You know, today, I seen Ten Hag go absolutely ballistic at Højlund. Guess what for? For not tracking the passes in front of him and not going and doing something to kind of press. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, you're telling him you're hoofing the ball up to him. You're then not giving him service. You're confusing the kid. Like, and you're going mad at him.
No, I hear you in regards to like Højlund not getting any service, but look at who's providing him with service. The vast majority of our creative players, so whether it's your 10s, whether it's your wingers, right or left, or they play both wings, shoot first. That don't mean they don't get assists, but that means their instinct is to score first. We have very few fast first, pass first creative players. Anthony wants to cut in and shoot. Rashford wants to cut in and shoot. That's Garnacho. He wants to cut in and shoot. Bruno looks to shoot. Mount looks to shoot. What?
It's only Palestri.
Yeah, it's only Palestri who will go down the outside of his fullback and try and cross it in, and Palestri's not getting a look in. Our attack has not just been a problem. Our attack was a problem last season. It's just that Rashford having a phenomenal season in terms of his output maxed it. Because take his goals and assists away, which is what happened this season, you see what you have left. I said this, I keep saying this, we scored 58 league goals last season. 58. Rashford got 18 of them. So that means combine the rest of the team. You know, look what they scored. I'm saying 50 and he got 18 of them. And you wonder why now they're strong. This is why I didn't understand why people thought our attack didn't need more. Our attack was the biggest issue last season. The reason why we had success last season was from a defensive standpoint. We were resilient. Clean sheets, etc., etc. Like that's where it stems from. So you put in Højlund and you got Rashford, Bruno, and Anthony behind him because that's his preferred front three behind the striker. Who's creating for him? Even the substitution he made today, you took off Amrabat and you brought on Mount. So then you've got Mount, and then you've got Rashford, you got Bruno, Højlund. Again, who's creating? This has been a problem the entire Ten Hag's reign. This is not new. Like I said, it's just that Rashford last season, that's the only thing different from this season to last season, is Rashford not getting, we played, 10 games? Rashford not having 5 goals and 3 assists, which would have helped us win more games. That's the only difference this season. Rashford would have 5 goals and 3 assists, or 6 goals and 2 assists, and we would have won more games, because he's the only outlet we had last season. This is why last season I defended him, because people were criticizing him, and I was like, outside of him, who's providing anything going forward? And you see it. Take him away. Look at his form has dropped off a cliff. Look at us. We don't create clear, minus the Copenhagen game, Nottingham Forest game, we don't create clear-cut chances. That's arguably a team, that's a team battling relegation, arguably championship level, and a team from Denmark. We don't create against anybody. We had the one today. The McTominay one you could maybe argue, but it's scraps. I do feel for Højlund. That's why I don't.
Yeah, it's still scraps. Yeah, it's still scraps.
He's not even scraps. The shop's closed. There's nothing there. Like, you don't even get scraps. You don't even get. We don't feed the ball to him at all. Like, honestly, like I've liked Højlund a lot, especially that getting put onto him last season, and really excited for United to have signed him. The big worry was, as we've seen with so many strikers, just come to this club and absolutely graveyard shift every single time they take to the pitch. I see nothing different. And to drag him off, I said it before, to drag him off for Rashford stinks for me, because the kid did absolutely nothing wrong. He's one of the 2 free players that can hold the head up and said, I had a semi-decent game, regardless of how shit we were. I mean, listen, luckily he's young enough that if he gets out of United alive, he can still resurrect his career. But some of these players, it's indefensible to talk about how bad we actually are in an attacking sense. Like, what do we do? What are we meant to do? How are we meant to look to play in any attacking position on the pitch? There's nothing you can't. It is. We joked about it with Ollie. It literally is just Vibes FC. Let's just see individual moments of brilliance. And the well is.
No, we don't even have that anymore. The well is one drive. We don't even have that, because at least with Ollie, his attack, like those are players that could do that. When you have Pogba, Greenwood before he did what he did, Martial before he broke down, Bruno before we realized what he fully is, and the informed Rashford. Those 5 could do something. Every game we was going into under Ollie and was like, yeah, these lot can do and can produce some individual brilliance. Look at our attackers now.
Manager out.
Who's producing individual brilliance?
One goal. I don't know if you see the graphic. Yeah, I'll try and pull the graphic out in a bit. But 1 goal and 1 assist from our front, whatever you want to call it. That's it.
Even when you add in the attacking players, it's 3, because Bruno scored twice, right? But one of them was a penalty.
Yeah, one of them was a penalty. Yeah,
one of them. So it's 2 from open play.
McTominay's our highest goal scorer. McTominay's our highest goal scorer. Big up Jack Bolt says, big up the man them love. Big up man Said was rants looked like charging the way Goku charges at Kamehameha.
It's a Dragon Ball Z.
I've not watched Dragon Ball Z for a while.
Yeah. Kamehameha. That's what he's saying, isn't it? Basically saying Rance was pissed. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Zamir says, don't worry about Arsenal not winning the league. Worry about your team. You're in a good mood, my friend. And
I love that. You know what I'm saying? I ask what Arsenal have won, and people boil it back onto us and that. I'm just asking questions, people. You don't like the answer, that's not my fault. Tell Arteta and the players to do better. How do people get mad at
We're winning the same amount of trophies as Arsenal winning the season.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. You lot are just better losers. Congrats. You know what I'm saying? You took Liverpool's mantle. You know what I'm saying? Liverpool love that. Now everyone wants to be Luigi all of a sudden. You player 2 ass, never mind. You know what I'm saying? Hella player 2s, man. You lot love being Luigi.
Trust me.
And it is, man. You lot love being, I swear on my life. Never seen so many people happy with being number 2. All right, cool.
You know what's funny? Their away kit is actually Luigi's colours as well, the green and blue. So.
Yeah. Surreal says, flawless stinks players are good enough. Don't be delusional. Also revamped their entire 25-man squad for 600 million. United get aging and overhyped stars.
Where did I say that the players are good enough?
Yeah, exactly.
Show me where I said the players are good enough. This was me
100%,
on this very channel at the end of last season, after we had a good season, saying, yo, we need 5 new first teamers, you know.
Yeah.
Never mind
100%.
squad
I
players.
said it
I
after the
said
FA Cup
five.
game.
Five new
He's
first teamers.
starting as well.
That's
Starting
starting.
as
No,
well.
we needed more
No,
squad. We need
5,
more squad
11.
players. Now it's
11,
11. I said 5.
Yeah, 100%.
What I'm
11.
saying? I could have been selling them too. I could have been giving them too much credit.
Like legit, what we're talking, we got maybe 3 decent players in the squad.
Everyone fell off a cliff. Even I was kind of duped. Everyone fell off. So I said 2 fullbacks.
You know what frustrates me about watching them though is you see with the best teams, with the title winning teams, you know, the great Champions League teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're nowhere near that. But even as you're aspiring to be a good team, you see the desperation, and that's one thing that our players have not had for a solid since Alex Ferguson. I'm not throwing it all the way back then, but just being desperate to win 50-50s, desperate to make sure the pass is, you know, an accurate pass, desperate to keep a shot on target, just a bit of desperation. You see City today, and that's the word for me, is you watch them and they're desperate to win everything. You know, they're desperate to get everything right. They're desperate to be in the right position, in the right time, in the right moments. It's something that they need to do. We don't care. We have no inclination or any want to kind of be in the right place and position. Like we were saying earlier with Rashford, when the ball's in the air, he has no idea where that ball is landing. He's got no clue. I don't think I've ever seen him win a ball in the air. Do you know what I mean? How can you be a professional footballer and not being able to read the ball in the air? I don't, which is mad. It's just there's no want to kind of win, and you saw it again. No yellow cards, or you know, not until Anthony came on and kind of lost his head a little bit. But generally, no kind of fight, no desire, no to kind of stop the City players, stop this, you know, the team. Just nothing, no kind of desperation. They're shameless, essentially. That's what they are. They're shameless. The men, they got no shame. They don't care. They're happy to lose. They're happy to get battered. They're happy to get the 3-0s, the 7-0s, the 6-3s, the 4-0s against Brentford. They know they'll still have the place in the team next week, and nothing will change. So,
yeah, facts, 100%. Dilla Spurs says, if I was a Man United fan, I would take Arne's slot after Ten Hag. He can send the ship with recruitment and staff he brings in. Send Stanto to Spurs, please. By the way, this the graphic that I was telling you about, guys. Look at that, man. That is pathetic, man. You know what I mean, guys? Pathetic. Look at that, man. Absolute joke, mate. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know where the root of the problem is. I think Ten Hag tactically as well, guys, man. He's just not got nothing. Like, what's our game plan every game? Like generally, people are blaming Amrabat today, but McTominay in the 10 role. Why are we putting McTominay in the 10 role? Like, why does he deserve that accolade, that responsibility, that freedom? What does he do with that freedom? Yes, he scores a few goals and whatnot, but and then he gets us conceded goals because he flipping makes bad mistakes. What, like, generally, guys, the one player that you would argue, is a decent player. You think to yourself, okay, fair enough. Then you've got Bruno Fernandes in the 10 role. That's where he's kind of good at. I'm using that, you know, with the you know what I mean, with the apostrophe there. He's good at, and then you put the one player on the right hand side. That just shows you don't rate Bruno Fernandes deep down. You get me? Like, you don't rate him as a 10. So why blag it then? Why blag it to us? Why put Mason Mount on the bench when you bought 60 million for him? 60 bloody million.
Like, go on.
I'm not saying you guys.
I can't say nothing. Everything he's saying.
You summed up. You said it perfectly.
You said everything. You said everything we were thinking.
What do I add to? What do I add to that?
You said
No, I'm being serious. Like, no, because
go on, what's the question,
Saeed?
Go on, I got you. Go on.
I don't know. Maybe it's not a question. Maybe I just want to see your
statements like that. That's again, I can't debate anything you said. When you said, well, what's the problem? Everything is the problem. The manager not performing, the players also not, but everything in totality is a problem.
Yeah, we're conceding goals. We're not creating chances. Goalkeepers had a mare up until the last couple of games. We can't control the midfield. What can we do? You know, what can we do?
Yeah. What I said to you on Thursday, Saeed, still rings true now, that I'm really worried about Ten Hag, right? And how I perceive him to be lost in his ethos as a manager, his tactical nous, is because and we could talk about Mount all the time, but how can you go and spend and chase Mason Mount for 60 million most of the summer, above a striker, above a centre-back, and then not play him, but play a player who you wanted out of the club more and start him over him because he scored 2 late goals in a game that we won. and then scored 1 goal and give away a penalty in the next game, and he continued to play him and he gave another penalty away, that leads me to believe that Ten Hag at this moment in time hasn't got a fucking clue what he's doing, hasn't got the scoobiest of ideas. What is in his thinking is what he's putting on the pitch. Like you said, what are we doing? I don't think he actually knows. I think he's thinking, right, well, I've kind of got to play Bruno and Rashford because captain, I've made him the captain, so I kind of got to live on. I've got to die on that. I've got to die on that sword now. Rashford, he's just been given a new contract, so now I've kind of got to play him because he's my leading goal scorer last season and a fantastic player when he's got it right. And then you're looking at, right, well, I've got the back four is kind of making it the back four, but he's doing it the wrong way around. Why the fuck is Lindelof at left back when Dalot has played at left back for Manchester United? Yes. And did he do it? Did he do it in the FA Cup semi-final? Or he did it in a big game?
He did it against Arsenal against Saka and was mint.
Yeah,
completely shut Saka down.
Yeah,
he's played
exactly.
That's another thing as well. Games. Yeah.
Why else are you put Lindelof, who's played at right back as well, at left back? It doesn't work at all. And listen, obviously, first half, was it the first half? Yeah, first half, he's obviously on my side. The amount of times he is just sucked in so close to Evans, and Foden was just the freedom of Old Trafford. Like, clearly, he can't play. He can't play as a left back. You must be teaching him. You must be coaching him how to do it. It doesn't look like he's done anything on the training pitch for him to be aware of what Foden and Walker were going to do, because, and I feel sorry for Lindelof for this one reason, he had absolutely fuck all cover from Rashford at all against Walker and Foden today, which was unforgivable from Rashford, because when you've got a centre back who's playing as an emergency fullback that's not even on his stronger side, and you're not busting a gut to get back to help him, along with Ken Eriksson, you are honestly, mate, you're a disgrace, and
you're just hanging him out to dry, aren't you? Because Lindelof, don't get me wrong, you know, Lindelof's not good enough, but you're just hanging him out to dry.
Yeah, everyone's talking about to dry.
You see that? You see that? What was it? The second goal, Haaland. There wasn't a man close to him within 5 yards. How does Haaland get into the box and have nobody near him within 5 yards?
Exactly.
Because you know what? The move had bamboozled us, and then nobody's marking a man. Nobody's marking a man.
Bruno Fernandes flicks it, and then next thing you know, Dalot's going on top, and then they get sucker punched in that end, and then Dalot's help out.
The pitch. That's what I was thinking for that. I was like, why? I didn't see I don't remember the passage of play just before the goal. I was like, why is Dalot so far up the pitch? And if he has gone, why is there no cover? But this is basic. So it's like when it comes back to what the Blaze mentioned about Bruno and Rashford playing, and people saying, oh, you don't have the balls to drop him, or it's the ownership. He does not want to. I don't think he's being forced. He genuinely thinks this is the way to go. And his comments about Rashford tell you that. If he wanted to drop those two, he would drop those two. But he's choosing not to because he believes they are the answer. And we can all see they're not the answer. But that's down to his stubbornness.
You know what I think it could be, Flawless? I think he's just desperate. He's looking, thinking, right, who is going to get a goal from us? Do you know what I mean? Who is reliable over the last 12, 18 months? Who he's seen, who's done something. So I think he's looking across the line. He's thinking, these are the only two players that can actually provide anything. But the problem is they've not been providing anything. So, you've got to go with a change. At least you bring in Hannibal, you bring in Mount, you get a little bit of work rate. You get a little bit, like we saw against Crystal Palace. We saw that against Crystal Palace, a little bit of will, a little bit of desire, a little bit of drive, and wanted to fight, and that's all you're asking for. You're not seeing it from Rashford, you're not seeing it from Bruno, unfortunately. And when you're not seeing the drive and the desire, you sit them down, you say, look, rest. Come back when you feel like you want to commit yourself to the football shirt. Until then, we've got these young lads here who are going to play, and they're going to work the socks off, and they're going to contribute to the team, to not get battered, to not get embarrassed, to put in a few challenges and look half decent. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just strolling around the pitch, just throwing your arms up in the air, blaming everybody else. And
this is where Ten Hag's lost, because last season he did that. When Rashford missed that meeting or was late, he dropped him against Wolves. We talk about it all the time, and he came on. He was setting examples of, where is this Ten Hag gone? Where are these principles? Where is this
pressure? The pressure double A. It's the pressure that is getting to him, and we're seeing him crumble. Because even what Ash is saying there about bringing those players in, we're asking professional athletes to run around and compete. That's where we're at.
Madness.
We're asking professional
Madness.
athletes to run around and compete, not even do well, just compete.
You know,
Just
it's bad when that's the
well.
bare minimum you require from them. Do you know what I mean? That's the bare minimum you're asking for. Is just put in a shift. Just
And they can't do that.
Just
You know
follow
what's
your
mad?
man.
They can't even do that. They can't even do that. This is the thing now. I'm gonna come a couple of super chats. Say Adam Fahimi says, "Don't start on Bruno. People thought he was one of the best players in the league. He's not even the best Portuguese player in our team." I will get on to Bruno. That'll be the next subject as well. Bruno, Double A, you're saying no manager can succeed at the football club. Then what's the point of keeping Erik ten Hag or giving managers time? Then that's a contradiction. They can work. They can if they stick to their principles. To me, that's his point on there.
So yeah, but every manager will be the same. You're just gonna go in a 2-year cycle again and again and again. Well, I'm not saying Erik ten Hag is the right man. What I'm saying is ten Hag deserves more than a season and 10 games in the league. When Ollie got 3 seasons and shit the bed every single season and was fucking terrible, he shouldn't have even got the job. I back Ten Hag a lot more than I back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because a lot of people only backed him because he played for the club, when really it was just as fucking terrible as it is now, to be fair to you. Yes, it's bad now, but Erik ten Hag has done things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was never going to do at this football club, in win a trophy, in actually have us play some decent kind of football. Ollie was Vibes FC, and you could look at it and go further. He kind of ruined 2 players' careers in Rashford.
No, it is though. Double A. I feel disappointed more in Ten Hag than I feel with Ollie, because I feel like with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I just never knew he wasn't good enough, and I knew he was out of his depth. But with Ten Hag, though, I know he's good enough, but I feel like his stubbornness is getting on the way of it. Now the lack of his team kind of philosophy, you can clearly see there is a good coach there. Nobody's coming in and saying, I didn't want Ten Hag, I wanted Ten Hag. But what I've seen right now, I knew Ollie was never good enough for the role. But with Ten Hag, I know he's good enough for the role, but he's let everyone down because he has caused this on himself. It's as simple as that. And that's why I think for me, the disappointment more is in Ten Hag rather than Ollie. Because Ollie weren't good enough. Everybody could know that.
No.
You were living off vibes. But you see, Ten Hag, he's let me down big time because I had expectations. I had a mind where we knew what sort of football he can play, but he's just abandoned everything because he's thought, you know what, 1 or 2 players are now dictating the team, and if I don't please them 2 players, I've lost the dressing room. Because he knows if he keeps them 2 quiet, he's somehow got the dressing room. He's scared. He's running scared because he knows them 2 are the favourites in the fan base as well. And that, for me, if you can't do that as a manager and get the discipline enough to say, you know what, nobody's above the manager, then listen, you're going to create kind of almost friction within the squad. And that's what's happened for me.
Of course, yes. And you're right in what you're saying. You're right to feel more disappointed and with Ten Hag, because he made you believe again, Saeed. Last season, he made you believe again. And you can talk about overachieving. You can talk about other teams, this and that. But we all sat here every Sunday last season and we were saying, pulling up trees, fucking Harry Potter with his magic wand. You know what I mean? He was doing bits. So yeah, because I was with you. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should never have got the job permanently. We saw it happen after that.
Yeah.
And the only good thing you can talk about after he got the job full time was that night in Paris. Really, everything else was nonsense. And you know, he shot himself in the foot bringing Ronaldo back to the club and getting Sancho again, having no idea when it wasn't the players that we needed. You know, not bringing midfielders into the club when we were desperate for them. You know, a lot of people, there's a lot of revisionism going on here in the chat. They all think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to be the next step.
I've got to open.
Well, I mean, they talk about the football's worse now. All this, shut up, man.
2 cheeks, yeah. It's 2 cheeks of the same ass.
He gave Maguire the captaincy
exactly.
after 3 months at the club. Walk away. You're talking out your ass. Like this, it's just bad. It's just bad decision after bad decision. Like, please not forget. Like, before Ten Hag come to United, he was being talked about as the potential replacement for Pep Guardiola. He was seen as the next up and coming big manager or the next best thing. Like, there's only one reason why he is on his ass right now, and that's because he's at the club that kills every single career that comes into contact with, and that is Manchester United Football Club. Like, if Pep Guardiola, for instance, at Manchester City, if he's having a bad time, if he's having something, he has got a hierarchy above him that can help him in a professional and world-class way. He's got the right people above him that can talk to him and help him in every situation. Erik ten Hag as fucking Darren Fletcher, John Murtagh, and Richard Arnold. Fucking three clowns who can't do shit and are looking to get sacked if this rat comes in who's going to kill the club even further with his 25% of fuck all. Like, you need to realise, like, yes, Ten Hag, he needs help, but he needs top-class help above him that can help him in every aspect of the job other than picking the team and on the training pitch. He doesn't have it around him. Like, so he's set up to fail before he's even begun. And this is what I mean by when, yes, we can sack Ten Hag and bring another manager in, which is fine if this continues. Yes, he can't keep losing. He can't keep playing bad. If we get knocked out of the Champions League, if we get knocked out all the cups and we're sitting in 8th place, he's very likely going to lose his job. And I agree with that. Things have to change and the manager has to change. I'm sitting here saying Ten Hag in is the best thing we've got. No one can ever do a job like him. I'm not saying that. But if we were to bring De Zerbi in, if we were to bring Flick in, if we were to bring any other manager in, I guarantee you that in 2-3 years' time, it's going to be the same.
I agree. And I agree. No, 100%. I agree. I think that's the overriding point there is I've agreed with that from day one. Like, any manager comes in, it's a poison chalice. You know what I mean? I'm only looking at the frustrations for now, but don't get me wrong. The bigger picture is still there for me. That will never go away. I won't have this kind of narrow-minded kind of mentality that it's only the manager's fault. There's so much situations that is wrong, and that's why I've rated it. The club is rotten, but I also will not hide the fact and brush it under the carpet of how this manager, for me, has absolutely disappointed me. And it's done for me. He cannot. He may turn this around, and there is that situation if he still has a job. But I just don't look at it, and I don't see the signs of it any improving. I'm looking at today. We did not even compete, guys, and City weren't even great, and that is something that's unforgivable. Sat there, nodding. Substitutions were too late, and by then, City is game over. Surreal says United would have been 3 points behind City with a win. This could have been a turning point. However, now was not able to motivate the team for the derby. Prof says, question: what type of football did you expect with the initial squad Erik ten Hag inherited versus the squad he is now after transfers?
Functional.
I mean,
functional. That's what it is. There's teams who don't. There's teams who don't have. There's teams who don't have our talent, who are more organized and play better football than us.
That's the Villa.
And when I say better, I'm not even talking about necessarily offensive. I'm just saying they have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. You can be functional and organized. You can have the 11. You can have the 11 worst players on the planet and organize them. Being unorganized is unforgivable. I'm not asking for Manchester United prime Sir Alex Ferguson football. No, bring me last season.
No.
As much as people complained, I was in the unpopular opinion. I was cool with what I was seeing last season to an extent because at least I knew we'd be resilient. We actually yielded results at times. We did play good football in parts. So yeah, I'm not asking for a lot. This is bare minimum. Like that. Yeah. Like, come on, Maple, man.
Just for more than one goal from our attackers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's it.
I'm asking for a lot, guys. I'm asking for a lot.
I'm asking for a cohesive press from people who are professional at what they do. They are paid extremely well. I don't like using the money thing, but I'm saying when you're paid extremely well to do a job, at least do it to a competent level. They train 5 days out of 7. They're on the training pitch. What are we doing that can't be implemented? That's nothing to do with the skill of the opposition.
I said, what does Ten Hag train? What do we train in training?
What are we training? I'm saying I've seen
the lads probably put the lads probably put in a great performance on the training ground, and they come to the match day and they just shit themselves. Do you know what I mean? You see today. Yeah, I reckon they do, and I reckon that's why Rashford and Bruno is still getting the picks and stuff, is because they're performing on the training ground. You know, they're putting in the work, they're putting in the rate because it's comfy, it's safe. There's no 60, 70,000 crowds that are under the pressure of. They're not having to go against opponents who are going to kind of like muscle themselves in and kind of just push them off the ball and stuff. You know, it's all that nice kind of friendly stuff that's going on in the training where they're in a comfortable environment and they're putting in those performances on the training field. And that's why Ten Hag's coming to the match day thinking, these boys should then perform on the football field. And they come to Old Trafford and you see there's no will, there's no desire. That's all I want to see from the boys. I've got to be honest. I just want to see them, have a little bit of shame, actually want to win a game, feel bad that they're losing the game. They don't look disappointed. At the end of the game, I don't know if he was there right at the end. There's only Diogo Dalot going around clapping the fans. They're just straight to the dressing room, straight to jump in the cars. And the way you go out of Old Trafford, there's a few of the young lads who wait for like autographs and wait for signings and shit. They just drive straight past them, no stopping.
Yeah.
The least you can do as a footballer, after a loss, is kind of like do a little bit of repenting, do you know what I mean? Just sign a few fans, apologise, come out, do you know what I mean?
Repent for your sins.
Getting a bit of stick, that's what it is. You talk about the training. I don't know if you saw on social media this week. It looks like they're all fucking applying for Strictly Got Talent, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know.
Strictly Come Dancing.
Do you know what Casemiro and Dalot fucking dancing on the training? What are you doing? Not a ball in sight, and then they're doing spins. Fucking grow up, lads.
They all look like they're enjoying themselves in training, though, innit? Do you know what I mean? They all look like they're loving it. Hey. Where's that energy at Old Trafford? You got no interest.
Like you said,
you have to actually play against decent football.
Play a game, and like you said, pressure as well. The pressure gets to you because you're under the spotlight. Like that's what it is. And with the super chat as well, we watched Ten Hag improve players last season. We couldn't believe what we were seeing. I seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka invert. I was like, what?
Invert,
I was like, what? And it worked. Playing triangles. I remember at 8 City when he went past a couple of players, I had to blink again. I was like, is that Wan-Bissaka? I was like, so he can. That's the most frustrating thing that you mentioned, Saeed, when Double A was talking about Ollie and Ten Hag. We knew Ollie was back. With Ten Hag, we watched you do well last season. Like I watched you do well last season. And then all of a sudden now it's just, again, pressure though. Pressure's just got to him. Crumbled.
Yeah. Big up to Paul. It says, respect to the panel. Thanks for the therapy. Big up to you, Paul. Boys, we are a big club at big family. Big families have a lot of good times, but also when a big family, you have to have bad times too. The good times will return. Stay God bless. Thanks, Paul, but I can't lie, man. I don't know if I see them good times coming back.
This is your family having bad times. This is finding out your dad's cheated on your mum. This is like the worst thing that can happen to your family. Like, or finding out that your brother's not really your dad's. It's like, this is the worst of times.
This is the worst, you know what's crazy as well? Yeah, it's true, man. I can't lie.
This is proper coronation street stuff over there from Double A. But yeah, do I believe the good times will return? Yes. Are they close to the horizon? Hell no. No, it's been 10 long years and counting.
And you know what, Flawless? How many saves did Onana make? How many saves did Onana make as well, guys?
He made quite a few still.
He made a few good saves, man. Onana. But it goes back to David De Gea days where shit, but the keeper keeps us in it. What has changed? He was meant to be the guy that we play off on the back. Bro, man was a hoofball, and I don't blame him, by the way. But I blame the defenders. Have you seen them? Johnny Evans like, oh, shall we play out from the back? Oh, Maguire. And then he passes to Lindelof. He shits his pants, kicks it out long, and then we lose the ball. Like, it's just rinse and repeat. Like, and that's why I said, like, what's really changed? We don't have no midfield.
No, it's changed.
We've got Leicester's centre-back pairing. We've got Maguire and Evans. I mean, what are we talking about? It's Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got aspirations to be a Champions League, a title-winning team, and you're going out with Maguire and Evans. It's madness. In a Manchester derby.
With Varane on the bench.
Yeah.
It's not like we were down to the bare bones, and you go, "That's all we've got." Varane.
Let's get the team up.
Varane was
Let's
on
get the actual
Raphael
team
Varane
team.
Not Varane at 35, 36. This is Varane at 29, 30 Alvaro. He's more than capable of playing. Raphael Varane.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the team up and show you guys what was going on. But this is what happened today, man.
Manager's lost it, man. He's lost his marbles.
This is crazy, man. We have to deep this, guys, man. Team. We have to. It's an awful team, and then you got the bench, yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't even recognize Martial came on. By the way, did he actually come on? I genuinely didn't know Martial came on. Wow, that just shows you I have head loss. You know. You know what I mean? Kobe Mino, young kid, Hannibal Majebri, Varane's on the bench, unused. Anthony came on far too late for me. Garnacho again, far too late to make any sort of impact as well. And they only made 2 substitutions. They still had Nunes on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, and he only brought on these 2 at the end for no reason, really. They could have kept it without no substitutions. And Phil Foden destroyed us, man. I think he was unbelievable today. Bernardo Silva was everywhere. Impact, players that just, and again, I could come back to Bruno Fernandes, but you know what I mean? He's our captain, and what does he offer you? You know what I mean? Like, our most important, what do they offer you?
Their second striker, Julian Alvarez, shown what Bruno Fernandes should be. He was unbelievable in that game today. Like, and the fact
crazy that, isn't it?
He's the player we should have had for 4 million. Knocks me absolutely sick. Like, fully knocks me sick. It's horrible to just sit there and watch Manchester City and be in awe. Like, man, it's like how this is what it feels like to me. How has the smelly kid in class become a millionaire? How? Like, how are we watching Man City? The smelly kid in class, crypto become a fucking millionaire. Like, they're driving past in Ferrari, and we're on the 192 going into town. This is what we've become. Bro. Like,
shout out to 192.
Shout out the 192.
Yeah, shout out the 192.
Yeah.
Shout out 192.
That's right there. That's right there. Me, the 192. Yeah. That's what I said.
Shout out the 192. On a Saturday night, about 2:00, you see something on there.
It's crazy on there.
There's always something going on. Some crazy sights.
There's always something going on there, man.
Yeah.
Super chat here from Lex says, I think you guys are missing. Yeah, big up Lex, man. I think you guys are missing the impact Ten Hag and Sancho Food is having on decisions. Think of those issues Sancho is close with. Abhishek says Eric Ten Hag won't decisions. Sign Mount and Evans, sell Alvaro, play Sancho false 9, preseason Billy, play Lindelof left back, not benching Rashford, Bruno captain. Ron says game at OT last year we had short centre back and Tyrell. And we shouldn't have let Ragnick go as well. Oh, that one hurts me as well. Like, but then again, I keep repeating that, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh well, what's the point of having a guy that you don't really like at a football club?" Well, suck it up, innit? Suck it up and work together. You know what I mean? That's what top people do. You know what I mean? At businesses, do you think they all like each other? Do you think they all love each other? But they get one. They have to get the job done, right?
Yeah, some of our best teams, the players have hated each other. Do you know what I mean? Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Us four can't stand each other. Look at the content we're bringing in. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say that. There's times you're in this content creator space and there's people on panels. You do not want to be there with people. No. Like, you're like, all right, let's just get on with it. Like,
you're talking about Hassan there, Flawless.
Yeah. People say that all the time. Like, just all jokes aside, we're cool. I'm saying people say, "Oh, you don't have genuine." No, we don't. We don't. We're just a Liverpool fan. Makes for great content. That's what it is. That's it.
Those bored last season, let alone this one. Only positive about Ruglon is his. Oh, listen, Aminur, man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wild, man.
That's wild, man.
You got
this is wild.
You don't see it, man. You don't see it, bro. Aminur, shoot your shot.
What I'm saying,
shoot your shot, mate. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, DM and see what happens.
Amrabat moves are mad. Yeah, but you know what's mad? Yeah, none of his signings are working this season. When you actually, only Onana's coming back a little bit. Mason Mount not working. Højlund, when you look at it on paper and when you look at it just in general, it's not working. Who else is there we bought today this season? Evans not working. Reguilon not working. What signings are working? Like, we even got one signing. Only Onana now is starting to do something a little bit. But before that,
Saeed, what signings worked for the last 5 years? Do you know what I mean?
Well, there you go. There you go.
True.
Even better.
You know when it comes to Mason Mount, though, I've got a feeling it'll come out a little bit in the future. That it's similar to Donny van der Beek with Ollie. I can't see that Eric Ten Hag wanted Mason Mount, I don't know.
Really? No, he wanted him.
The reason why I think he wanted him because he was a fan of him in Holland. Because he was over there.
Yeah, so I'm at the test and stuff. Yeah, I get it. But I don't know.
I get what you mean, though. You've got PTSD. You got PTSD of Donny van der Beek, so I get what you mean.
I have
That's even worse than the
Why
pressure.
are you buying Mason Mount? Like, what are you doing? We don't need Mason Mount. Get yourself a centre back.
Ash, because he genuinely wanted him. Because that's even worse than him. The pressure getting to him and losing his marbles.
But I don't want to think it, because if he wanted Anthony and he wanted Mason Mount, then what's he going to want in the future? Do you know what I mean? And that's worrying looking forward, because those are bad signings. And I hope they didn't want Sabitzer. I hope they didn't want Weghorst. Do you know what I mean? Because if you wanted these kind of players,
and he did want him.
It's a bit of Weghorst. I give it's a bit of Weghorst that I give him a blind on, because there's no way I think he went on Mason. Sign me these two on loan. I think that was just a question of, this is what you're getting in January. Mount, the reason why I think he wanted him is because he did like him previously in Holland, and we chased him for so long. And that's even worse than him. Let's say it's hypothetically is true, and he didn't want Mason Mount. That's even worse than the pressure getting to him and him losing his marbles, that he said, I don't want Mason Mount. And they said, we're signing him in anyway. And he stayed. He stayed.
You know what's mad? But you got him though. You got. But the thing is though, Mama's not even playing him to hide it out. Like, normally you'd be like, nah, but I still back him.
Because it's his
signing. I could forgive him. No, but I could forgive him, if he said, I'm still playing Mason Mount because it's my signing, rather than be cowardly and not play him and hide behind others. I could work with that rather than not play him, but be like, well, he's got to be adapted in. He's got bullshit. He's a Premier League footballer about adapted in. This is why I feel like everything he's saying now, I don't believe it, man.
He's swearing. Jesus.
You know what else? That's why I'm saying it's not his man. Because look at Anthony. Anthony's got straight in, stuck in. Do you know what I mean? You can't get rid of him out of the team.
But Ash, that tells you all you need to know just quickly, that in regards to, he will stick by his guys. He just don't rate Mount because he played him. Don't get mistaken. He played him, and he played a few games. And then guess what? We know who he rates and who he don't rate. We know he's not a fan of Palestri like that, for example, because we don't see him. We know he's not a fan. Even before the whole Sancho situation, we knew what.
Listen, he weren't a fan of McTominay, was it? And McTominay's all of a sudden back in the team. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. I feel like he's lost. It's pressure, like you're saying there. He's lost his head, and at the moment he's just throwing anyone in there, but keeping Rashford and Bruno in, which that needs to change, as we've already seen with a little bit from Crystal Palace. In the League Cup, I was going to say Carling Cup, then fucking hell.
Well, that's all he's got right now.
Say the Worthington Cup, man.
Yeah, do you know what
I mean? Worthington Cup, mate. We couldn't even win the Milk Cup. The Milk Cup. We couldn't even win the Milk Cup, man. The John Payton Trophy.
Rumbelows Cup.
Rumbelows Cup, man.
Rumbelows Cup.
Man. I feel like for me, it's one of them where I just don't know, man. I'm just struggling, man. By the way, I don't know who this account is. Flawless. That's not your account, is it? Flawless.
No, it's not mine. Is that fake me?
Let me ban this guy. Yeah, fake me, man.
It is, man. Hey, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, man. Big up to you, man. Whoever that is.
Yeah,
big up to you.
100%, man. But you know what though, like, man, do we see this improving? Like, because I'll be honest with you, that the people behind me, I don't know. I'll speak for myself, Ash, and Double A, but I can't lie, man. I heard some bad stuff in the crowd. Ten Hag, fraud. I heard get the F out of here. I heard you. Honestly, man,
Old Trafford gives time, doesn't it? Generally, fans at Old Trafford, they kind of get they allow the managers time. If anything, they allow managers a little bit too much time, as we've seen with Ollie and that, and Mourinho and that, and I'm hearing exactly the same things. Ball fraud and
I heard something really bad today. I had to turn around to the kid and say, "You're well out of line. You're well out of line to say that." And I mean, like, going yourself, like,
wow.
I was like, bro, I'm like, chill out, mate. And then I went and called Rashford a money grabbing.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Moderation, guys. You know I mean?
But he deserved it.
Yeah, he did. But
it's true though.
I don't see it getting better, mate. I think people are saying we might win on Wednesday against Newcastle because they got players out. I think we'll get beat. Then we got to go to Fulham, who aren't doing great. We'll probably get beat. You need signs of improvement, signs of something happening, signs of it clicking, signs of a little bit of hope, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We're in Flawless's room right now. It's pitch black. Not seeing nothing.
Now, you know what? I'm going to a little bit of hope. Kobe's going to come in and be the saviour. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to come in Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right back spot is going to move the low over to the left, Mason Mount's going to come in and start playing on the right-hand side. It's all going to turn around, boys.
Hey, Double A mentioned it and said we need a sign. Yeah, there is a sign, and you know what that sign says? You know what I'm saying? We on the way to hell. You know what I'm saying? That's what it says. You know what I'm saying we are on the road to nowhere, is what that sign is saying. Like there's no more road. It's a wrap. We stuck in bumper to bumper traffic. That's what's going on here. We're going nowhere. We are going nowhere. We'll probably get some results. We'll probably get past Newcastle and go to Fulham and get a draw. That's us. We'll somehow pick up results. But yeah, it's a wrap. We're doing nothing. No. Do we get out of the Champions League group? That's what I'm looking at. The Champions League group. Because that's when I think if we don't make it out of the group, I think that's when obviously people are going to turn even more. Say we lose to Galatasaray, don't get out of that group.
You know, in Turkey, Istanbul, you know, that crowd, these players under that kind of pressure.
Oh, yeah, they go crumble.
Yeah, no chance. I'm going to that game. I'll be over there in Istanbul, and that. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to.
Just enjoy your trip there.
Yeah, I'm just going for the kebab. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm just going
to say. Go for the mixed grill. Go for the mixed grill.
Yeah, that's it. Do you know what I mean? Not even going to go to the game. Just go for the mixed grill, and I'm back on the plane.
Hey, United gonna get put on the grill, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you know what? That's a good one. You know what I mean? Like grill. You know what I mean? Did Guardiola say anything after the game? By the way, did he say that? Did he come out?
He says he loves playing at Old Trafford. He says he loves it here. He said it's one of his favourite stadiums. Do you know what I mean? To play it's so easy.
I bet he also said. I bet he said I bet he said it was his toughest test all season or something like that. You know what? He do that type of nonsense.
He genuinely said, "Yeah, he loves coming here. He loves coming to Old Trafford." You know that says it all, doesn't it? Do you mean you know what managers, your rival managers saying they love coming to your stadium? That's madness.
Thanks.
That knocks me sick.
Yeah. No, it's true, man. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, man. You know what I mean? These guys, training ground today, man. That's where it hurts me the most, you know. Like, it was just a training ground for these lot. Like, everyone just kind of like, you know, just walking around. There was a bit where, you know, they were doing Olays. And I tweeted it out. I said, how many times are we going to hear the opposition do Olays? I've never heard of Olay from United in a while. Have you not heard of Olays? Like, I've not heard Olays for United. But
just when Solskjaer was the manager.
Yeah, that's exactly.
As soon as you hear Olays for away fans, that should be the moment you're told, right, go in. Do you know what I mean? Start snapping legs, start grabbing shirts, snapping because you can't allow that at your home stadium. Olays, it's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? Did they not realise that we go home, we've got friends, we've got family members who are City fans? Do you know what I mean? We've got to live this every day of our lives, and it's just like they take it as they just go home, get paid, don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? I'll turn up and I'll get my place next week, and it doesn't even matter. You know, we've got battered by City last year 6-3, Liverpool 7-0. It's just, when's it going to stop? You know, and that's what I worry about with Ten Hag. You know, he's got some bad performances under his belt. You know, I don't recall ever seeing that with Jose Mourinho, LVG, Moyes. You know, Ollie I think was the Spurs one, weren't it? They smashed us when Martial got sent off. What was it, 6-1 or something?
6-1. But did they have a 4-2 against City as well? Or that
the bad one against City, and then obviously the Liverpool one right towards the end, 5-0.
In a single season last season, we've got demolished. Brentford 4-0. I mean, you know, and then today again another one where we didn't even show up. You know, 3-0 was a compliment to us, really. It should have been 5-6. Onana making those saves, those miraculous saves. That one with Haaland in the first half with a header. Yeah, unbelievable. And you know what pissed me off more than anything was when Foden scored and Haaland stood there and was like, let his arm out there, go get your praise. I don't know if you saw that, lads, in the corner. Go watch after the goal. Yeah, you know, like it's their stage.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I won't be watching anything from that game. I won't be watching anything back. No chance.
No, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? It's one of them where I'm looking at Villa, I'm looking at all these teams, man. I'm like, yo, man.
Villa would pump us right now. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen that Villa team? That's a dangerous team for us.
6 games in a row now. 6 games in a row they've won now. You know what I mean? 6 games in a row.
And they're scoring goals as well. They're scoring, you know, it's not like, you know, they're winning games 1-0. They're winning 3-0s, 4-0s. Do you know what I mean? They're smashing teams. So that's dangerous, that.
Pep, yeah, this is the comment here. I always have a good feeling here. The players always give their best. For so long, Sir Ferguson was at the top. We have changed the tendency, especially away at Old Trafford. I mean, we had that one win last season, and you know what? As much as I give credit to our resilience and we made better substitutions and whatnot, like I wanted to see this year that we could actually compete a little bit better in terms of have the ball, do a bit of something like, and that's what the kind of the sadness is for me is that and this is sadness for the manager is that we can't really do anything on the ball, off the ball. We're poor. I mean, goal scoring wise, nothing there. There's not literally a lot to do with this Man United team. Literally, there's not a lot to kind of look at and think, yeah, you know what, where we're going places. You know what I mean? There's literally nothing. Like it just seems to me that there's no direction. Obviously, the owners and the Glazers, they don't want to sell at the minute. You know what I mean? And maybe Ten Hag is looking for a way out. I don't know. Maybe it's a situation where he's looking. You know what, man? It's a self-sabotage thing here, and I'm that stubborn. I'll just sack myself. And this is what I said to people. He is doing that at the minute with his decision making. And he says, you know what, I'm out of here and I want to go. That's the way I look at it in a different way now because I'm like, he can't be not playing Varane. Like he plays Varane when he needs to. I get it if he's not injured, but he said tactical reasons. Bro, guys, are you deep in that? Tactical reasons. But Maguire and Evans are starting.
What tactical reasons do you mean? Like, what could
to
possibly
lose?
be the tactical reasons?
Yes, to lose.
Yeah,
You know
to
why?
lose.
Because we know because you know why? We know it's rubbish because tactical reasons can mean anything. You can say tactical any question you are asked.
There isn't a tactical reason. That's the truth. The truth is there isn't.
That's the point. That's the point I'm making.
There isn't.
Like there isn't but you can say that for anything. Oh, why did you play a left winger at striker? Tactical reasons. Why did you play Onana in midfield? Tactical reasons. That's
Lindelof left back when Lindelof's played right back and Delos played left back. Like what? Just swap them over.
That's tactical reasons because that can mean absolutely anything.
A midfield of Eriksen, McTominay, and Mount against Man City in a second. I mean, what are we talking about here?
That's awful. That is awful. Hey, tactical reasons though. Tactical reasons.
Tactical reasons, man. You know what I mean? You know what's mad? Yeah, when someone told me, I think when someone told me about that, I was like, nah, man, that's not right, man. Let me go watch the interview. I watched the interview up in Old Trafford in the stadium. I watched the interview. I was like, and you know what's mad? Yeah, he said it in a smug way. Tactical. You know, he said tactical.
Do you think he's maybe learned his lesson and not told the truth that he's actually injured? And it was like from the whole Sancho thing. I mate, that because it doesn't make sense, does it? It's something.
Maybe he's been watching us. It could happen.
It's something that when a boxer's punch drunk and he says the most outlandish shite at the end of a fight, it sounds something like that. It just doesn't seem because we know he loves Varane. He loves Varane over Evans and Maguire. So for him not to play him for a tactical reason just doesn't make any sense. And people might be thinking I'm making excuses for him. It just doesn't sound plausible or even believable to me. Like the fact you said it before, I was like, come on, Saeed. Not joking. But you talk about tonight at the moment, and I'm speculating, absolutely speculating. But you have to look at. I know last season when it was coming out about the sale, and he's come out and said we need to spend money, we need to have new impetus, which led a lot of people to believe in that the full sale was what he was backing without actually saying it. You have to imagine. I assume he doesn't know where the fuck he is or what's going on at this club. Like all of a sudden it's Qatar, then it's Sir Jim and Qatar. He must be thinking, what the fuck is going on? What am I meant to be doing? Like who is running it? Who's going to be running it? Who's going to be backing it? Have I got this? Is the club going to be sustainable? Is the club going to be out of debt? Am I going to have to sell to buy? He probably doesn't got a clue what's going on. Then you look at the rumours that Sir Jim's going to take over the football inside. So then Murta and them are going out, and then he's got to bring new people in. I imagine he's just kind of like, fuck, man. Yeah. I mean, day to day, what is actually going on? He can't really plan. He couldn't plan for this summer because he didn't know who was going to be in charge. Because we were led to believe that the new owners were going to take over by it was March, April. Then it was sometime in the summer. Then it was October. Like, and I suppose he's privy to any of these conversations. It's like, what is actually going on anywhere? And when you got to deal with that much pressure and having to, you know, we spoke about it on this show last season. We needed that progression. We needed to close the gap to the two teams that finished above us. When you add all that up and you're not getting your first choice players and you're having to pivot on who you want and get rid of a keeper to bring a new one in, you're not getting your first choice striker, so you bring another one in. Midfielders you want aren't coming in. Defenders you want aren't coming in. Players you want to get rid of aren't leaving the club. Like, fuck, man. Just saying that alone is a clusterfuck of enough to make most people think, the fuck, what am I doing? Like, it must be absolutely like a weird place to manage, and it's not going to get any better. And I've not spoken about this on this channel at all because I want to hear when Sir Jim comes. But my thoughts on it are: if he comes in, we are fucked. We are done. But we're not going to get any better. The debt's not going, which is growing, nearly £800 million now. That's not going to go anywhere. The money that's coming in is going in their pockets. It's not coming into the club. So where does the money for infrastructure come in? It's getting no better. And I'll be honest, if I was Ten Hag, I'd say, fuck it. Get me out of here. I could probably go to Ajax, save him, and I'll be fine. Fuck United. I don't owe them anything. I didn't play here. I'm not a legend. I won something. I look good. I'll just come out in a few months when my NDA's done and say, have you seen the state of that fucking club? Have you seen what goes on behind that closed doors? And I come out of it looking a hero. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, and it's far-fetched, but is he in self-sabotage mode?
I don't think he is in self-sabotage mode, though. I think he's genuinely trying to do his best. Again, it comes back to what I've said from the top of the show.
Best isn't good enough. I know what you mean.
He's crumbling under the pressure. It's the same way when people try and make excuses for players, or he thinks he's this, or a player thinks he's that, or these players are just not very good. Just talent-wise. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just from a skill, and that's we're seeing it with Ten Hag. Obviously, it's kind of different. That's why I don't even hear no excuses about the outside stuff. If you're being impacted that heavily by everything else that is going on, I always say leave. If your ability to do your job to a high level is it's at a detriment, everything else that's going on, you can leave them. And then, like Double A said, turn around and go, you know what? I wasn't able to fulfill my potential and do what I wanted to do because of X, Y, and Z. I'd hold my hands up and go, you know what? That's fair. Let's say, for instance, Mount wasn't his signing. Leave them. Because these people are setting you up. The people around you clearly don't want what's best for you. Because you know whose reputation is going to take a hit? Ten Hag's. That's why I think it's on him in regards to that signings and things he's doing. He's really trying to do the best he can. Again, we're just watching another person crumble at Manchester United because the spotlight's different. Spotlight's different here.
Well, Flawless, he's looking at Rashford not tracking back. He's watching Bruno, put balls into Rose Ed and all that. I mean, he's watching that and he's still playing him. Like he's not thinking, right. Let's give Medbury a chance. Let's give Mount a chance. Let's give Garnacho a chance. Let's even put fucking Martial on the left-hand side. We're not seeing for years. Just something to kind of give Rashford a kick up the arse, or just something that's going to be better than that. Because that is all that has been is lose the ball, running into players and lose the ball. So and he's seeing that. So why is he not changing it? Do you know what I mean? Like, why does he keep persisting and persisting? Is it because he's scared that the dressing room's going to crumble? The morale in the dressing room, because if he pisses off, because already Sancho, he's got his connects and his links in the dressing room. Already you could tell that they're probably a little bit frustrated with Ten Hag, because Sancho's not in there anymore. So he pisses off Rashford, and Rashford starts, causing issues around the. You remember when Ronaldo last season did an interview and he said that a few of the younger lads, they don't want to train and they don't want to work out hard. Maybe he was talking about Rashford. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he was the guy we're talking about. Some of these players that think they're superstars and they're not. So it's one of those where Ten Hag he's constantly having to deal. And I'm not trying to excuse it. Make excuses for the man, because he's making bad decisions right now. Mainly for me, the signings, and that's my biggest issue going forward, because you always look to your signings as like you're hopeful, like what's going to change your team. And he's made mistake after mistake after mistake when it comes to signings. So that's where I'm worried. I hope him for him to get it right on the football field. I expect him to. You see with Ajax, they got to the semi-finals. We've not got to a semi-finals of the Champions League in 11 years. Do you know what I mean? He's done that with an Ajax team. So you'd hope and you'd assume that he'd be able to do that with his men, with us. But right now, he's making wrong decisions almost across the board. So it's worrying and it's scary. And you hope that with that Ajax kind of the legacy of Ajax hopefully being built into Ten Hag. I know he was at Go Ahead Eagles and Bayern and all that, Bayern second team and stuff, but you're hoping he's going to rely on the kids a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? He's going to rely on Medjugorje a little bit more, a little bit of Garnacho, a little bit of Pellistri, because Rashford and Bruno aren't doing it. And those, as we say, week in, week out, those are our main culprits that we point to, that we say, these boys are not putting in a shift, they're not playing well enough, it's not good enough. So is he not seeing that? Or is he seeing it and he's persisting with it because he's having to keep the dressing room on side? So that's where I'm worried. I'm worried as to, where do we go moving forward? Is this going to continue to persist and we're going to continue to play Rashford and Bruno until they come into some kind of form, which is definitely no guarantee, I'm just looking and I'm
thinking. I've got a couple of super chats here. Don F says, the idea that every manager needs time is BS. It's literally one of the most important jobs in the world. Either you're it or you're not. Time to go. We sure Eric Ten Hag hasn't fallen out with Casa and Varane. I mean, we'll have to find out. We'll see some leaks tomorrow. Maybe it's like, innit? You always find out leaks in the morning after a loss. BS7H says, AA, remember calling Arsenal London Leicester? You man are the Manchester Luton.
You are the London Leicester though, so it doesn't matter.
Shut out the Gea. I don't know what that means there. Let's do some player ratings. Onana for me gets a 7 for me. I know he lost 3-0, but he couldn't have been 6 or 7-0. One of them was a penalty. The second one, it was free man, and then obviously the third one was just individual goal. But I gotta give Onana a 7. He was probably our only outstanding player. That's probably the highest he's ever gonna get. The rest of them won't get anywhere near that, to be honest with you. But 7 for me with Onana.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he was good. Again, the kicking, I probably would put him down to maybe a 6.5. I think he's kicking out again. He's still a bit suspect. Winds me up a little bit, but I mean that first half save, I'm right in front of it. I think it's a goal. Haaland from there, it's a fucking goal. How did he save that? Do you know what I mean? Even De Gea would have been sat in his house in Spain like Jesus wept. Even I like that. Other than that, I mean, second half, I just felt sorry for him. Really, it was just disgusting. Poor guy. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like he's turning the tide a little bit, which in this team is hard to do, especially how bad we're playing. But yeah, man, I think he's okay. But someone was saying in a group chat I'm in that the way he dives absolutely infuriates him, and I get what they're saying. He does have a weird dive, but
but he did his job today, though. That's the main thing. The dive was correct today.
Well, yeah,
can't lie. The dive was on point today. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think everyone agrees there. I think
7 is the difference between 5-6-0 and 3-0.
I think 7 is fair. Can't we just give all the outfield players 3s and belows and we just call it that?
0.
Everyone gets 1 to 3, 0s and 3s.
That's true. Yeah.
Is anybody on the outfield getting above a 3?
I think some.
You know what I will say?
Go on.
This for me to say it says a lot, especially after I had.
This is even McTominay or Maguire.
No,
go on.
Yeah, I had the MDL on me the other day. Maguire Defence League.
Can't believe that's a thing. It's crazy.
Well, it felt like it because I didn't celebrate properly when he scored in the Champions League because I thought it had to be him. Also, I was having a go at him. Why can't you just give him credit? Why can't you just say he scored? Fuck off, man. Maguire had a decent first half, I think. A couple of good headers, and he cleared that one off the line, didn't he? I think with Haaland as well. I think he was okay, but other than that, he's still shit. He's still got a big head.
Yeah.
5.
That's got nothing to do with nothing. The second bit. That's got nothing to do with anything. That's dirty football.
Bro,
just wanted to mention it. Just wanted to mention.
He's got a big head.
When I saw him bumping into Delo in the first half, trying to clear the ball, I was just from there. I was thinking it's going to be one of them days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falling over his own players.
Ollie did irreversible damage to the club side, certain players letting players power creep in, club legend, but obviously shattered this club. You know what? You're right. To be honest with you, Flawless, like most of them, like I think the only ones where we can look at is who deserved like a 1. I think Bruno honestly was a 1 today.
Yeah,
Rashford as well, pathetic. The rest of them, yeah, you're right. 3 4s.
Yeah,
I'd say
Even that, like,
the low left his man a few
you
times.
can just
do you know what
group
I
them
mean?
all in
Yeah.
together and say you lot collectively 0 to 3. There you go. You know what I'm saying? You don't even deserve the individual trying to who's did. Just horrific.
First come, first serve for the 3s and the 1s.
Yeah, man. Like just pick a number between 0 and 3. Like I'm not gonna argue you down. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, maybe you should have got a 3.5 or got a 4. Or he was 2.5 and not a 2. What we doing with that?
Terrible.
That's what we're gonna be debating. I'll say 3 and you might say you got a 2 and we meet in the middle of it. Paul says go, 2.5.
It's like whose farts stink the least? You know what I mean? Like,
there's a guy in front of me farting like mad today. Fucking hell, do you know what I mean? If anything, nothing makes it worse. When you get one of the guys in front of you that's with the East stand, where it's steep stand, I'm just getting a whiff. Man, I was punished today.
You've had a United pie, you stinky.
Do you know what I mean?
Man, I'm telling you. I had a drunk guy in front of me, man. Big up to him, but he's a good lad. But he was too drunk again, man. He just destructed the whole
him. That will cause you to drink. When did he start drinking? Was he drink from the start or during the game? Before I wish I would have drank before I watched it. You know what I'm saying?
He had a better day. He had a better day than all of us. He probably did, man. Best thing is, he won't remember fuck all as well, so it's even better.
You know what? He's probably still drinking now.
He's still drinking now. I would be as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point as well here, Mr. Francis. He should have went down. I don't know what you guys think, but Haaland should have went down. But again, he should have went down, man. But again, it's
probably because he backed himself to score. That's it, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like striker, honest young player. Give him 2-3 years. Straight down.
We've not been getting decisions lately as well, so you can understand why he's trying to stay up and score instead, because we've not been getting nothing. Rashford, Copenhagen.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a clip. So he's probably thinking ref's not going to give it me anyway, even if I do go down. What about that? The penalty? Do you know what I mean the holding on? What is that? What about Gabriel on Highland?
I had to go on Twitter. No one near me knew what was going on. Like, obviously being direct in front of the penalty spot, what happened was like
soft penalty.
What's happened?
Well, he's got to be smart. We know the incompetence of officials and what they do. You just don't. You know
it was Michael Oliver on the VAR.
Oh, shot.
Michael Oliver, on Hoyland, that's on him. You got to be.
He's been getting paid by the UAE. UAE reffing their games over there as well. So how is that not a conflict of interest? He's managing games for a team that he's been paid by.
That's crazy.
That's madness.
Hey, referees have the best job in the world because they can underperform, and it's like, yo, you just carry on getting work.
Yeah,
you lot can do massive. You lot can mess up in spectacular fashion, and you still. Rashford's kind of like that, but the referees don't receive the criticism. You know what I'm saying? You see how you criticize Rashford when he was walking off? No refs are getting.
Nah, you know what's the easiest job is transfers.
Let me tell you.
Nah, I'm talking about the VAR guys in particular. I'd love to do that. Sat in the VAR room. No one knows what's going. Yeah, that's cool.
Scrolling Twitter like they're pissed off again, lads.
You know what? Though?
Just listen to Sky Sports. Whatever they're saying, we'll go with that because otherwise it's going to be a problem.
Unless it's Gary Neville because he talks shit.
Yeah.
You don't like
just to kind of wrap it up. Where do we go from here? I'll start with you, Flawless. Like, where do we go from here now? Is anything improved for you, or are you like basing on new evidence?
We've been falling off the cliff. Like in the old school cartoons, like Bugs Bunny, and they'll run off the cliff, and then they'll forget like there's no cliff underneath them, and then they just that's just that you know what I'm talking about. That's just us. We just no cliff, man. We just gonna keep falling like Homer Simpson does in The Simpsons when he just continue like that's us. Like this is just us. Where are we going from here? No, because even if we win, it feels like a draw or a loss because of the performance. Forget it. Just all I can say is strapping people. It's been like this the whole time. It just feels worse because it's Manchester City, but that performance was not too far away from previous performances. It's just that we beat Brentford, we beat Sheffield United. Like, that's it. But it's the same performance. The manager going to continue to do the same foolishness, unfortunately. He's going to continue to pick the same players, unfortunately. These players are going to continue to underperform. Maybe the only saving grace is certain players coming back. Varane coming back into the side, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo being fit, like Martinez once he gets back here. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Diallo or Malacia or Wan-Bissaka. You know what I'm talking about? Malacia and Wan-Bissaka to come in and save and turn around our fortunes. Because notice all the players I mentioned, none of them are attackers. None of them are. We got no attackers coming back. Zero. There's nobody. Maybe a Diallo, that's the only one. And it's like he's probably not going to play. Yeah, he's not going to play. We're going to treat him like Palestri. So, where do we go from here? Continue to get. We're in the valley of the shadow of death. That's where we're at.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Shout out, cool.
Ash,
Facts.
anything for you? Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? I don't know. You know,
he said it all.
We go, flawless. You said it all. Do you know what I mean? We got Newcastle next, haven't we? You know, for the League Cup. I'd like to see a little bit of rotation there. I want to see, you know, Medjugorje play. I want to see Mount start. I want to see. I don't want to see Lindelof. I just don't want to see. I don't want to see Lindelof, and I don't want to see. I don't want to see Rashford. I don't want to see Bruno. I'm sick of seeing him. Do you know what I mean? You know. Yeah. In regards to like positivity and, you know, what have we got to look forward to? I can't lie. I'm excited to see what we're going to look like when we've got a full strength team back. You know, back in March or May or whenever. Do you know what I mean? Because that's when we get Lisandro Martinez back, and I'm excited to see him fully fit. Because obviously at the start of the season he wasn't on form because he was you know, carrying that metatarsal injury, obviously, so he wasn't, you know, playing to his full potential. Last season, we conceded the second least amount of goals. You know, and mainly that was due to that partnership of Varane and Martinez. So, you know, I'm hopeful for that to come back. And Casemiro regaining some kind of form, although that's not hopeful, you know, seeing the decline of Fabinho last year. I feel like that's potentially what's happening to Casemiro right now. Attacking-wise, Højlund getting a bit of service. I mean, we're desperate to just give the man some service. Do you know what I mean? Feed him the ball. Give him the ball at his feet inside the box and let him turn and do something with him. Do you know what I mean? That's all we're asking for. Just give him the ball. So, yeah.
Shout out to Matisse. Road brothers, bro. We'll stick together. Stick together. Stick together. Stick together. Big up. I appreciate the thing, what you just said there, Ash, man. You're right, man. You're spot on, man. Double A, I mean, I know you still want to believe in the manager or whatnot, and I think somewhat everyone still wants to, but it just depends on how much you have faith in it. But I can't lie, I don't really have faith in the manager anymore. Is he just is his problem everything? No, but you know, he is, for me, on the football pitch doing his utmost to kind of sack himself, man. And it's not great, man, to watch.
No, and you know, Ash said it perfectly. You know, there's certain things we start to need to see him. And the one thing I want from Ten Hag at the moment is bravery. We need him to be brave. Yeah. Need him to make some smarter, braver decisions. If I see Varane start on Wednesday, I'll be fucking fuming. I'll be mad.
He will start. Double A. I'll let you slow down, please. He will start.
Honestly, and if it's for tactical reasons, I'm not going to the game, but I will turn up and I'll kick his ball in. I want to see Garnacho start a game. I want to see Mount start a game. I want to see Mesbury start a game. I want to see Palistri start a game. If not, there's someone who is different to what we're seeing week in, week out. I want to see,
maybe Mainoo.
Yeah, I mean, something different. Do you know what I'd like to see as well? And it's no slight on Onana. Get Bayindir in that goal, because we were saying the other day, Saeed, when he goes in January, we need to see what this keeper's got. Like, I know it's only the warm up, but he was pulling out some worldy saves in the warm up this afternoon. I have to say, I want to see what he's about. He should have started against Palace, because if Onana goes and he's gone for a few games, you can't be throwing him in cold. It's not fair to the kid. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to see some wholesale changes and giving people a chance. It's a good thing we're playing so late on a Wednesday, because I can be tired and not really bother about it. And it's also good we're playing early on a Saturday, because it means we've got the rest of the weekend. We can try and forget about it, rather than it being like now, and it's kind of just put a downer on your whole weekend, I guess. But it's hard to be positive about Manchester United, Saeed, right now. And I think it's going to take us a couple of days to get over it. But the good thing is, the one positive thing is we've got a game very, very soon, and we can try and turn it around as small as it'll be, because it's the second worst game to lose in the Premier League for me after Liverpool. But, you know, we can progress in a cup, and that's better than not progressing in a cup, isn't it? So
we're a cup team, though. Flawlessly, I did say that, though, innit? I said we're a cup team.
We can do this. We're domestic cup side. We're a domestic cup side. Like that's our ceiling is FA Cup, League Cup, and I'm just praying we get out of the Champions League because I don't want to be in the Europa League. I can't stand that competition. So I'm hoping we actually get out of the group. Get out, please. You know what I'm saying? Give us something to look forward to. Like, imagine we go out. Imagine we go out of the champs and we go out of the Carabao Cup. Season's done. Sounds dramatic, but it is. What are we looking forward to? If we go out of the Carabao Cup to Newcastle, even though they're not in the best of form and a few injuries, that could happen because we can lose to anyone. We don't go through the Champions League. What do we have to look forward to?
Relegation.
You know what? The championship would be fun. I'm not gonna lie.
I think we're close to getting relegated.
Nice to win a lot of games.
Where we at the league? I didn't check.
Sheffield Wednesday away, we get battered. Blackburn away, we get battered.
Yeah, maybe because then some of these players would leave. You know what I'm saying? And we'd see some new people. So it is. We can't play
in the league. Luckily, West Ham lost today. Yeah, I mean, we could have been 10th. Sorry, 9th. Sorry,
we could be where Chelsea are still.
So you'd say that
7 points.
That was depressing. Thankfully, West Ham lost. Jesus Christ! Look where we are.
Yeah,
look where we are.
Seriously, 7 points off 5th. 7 points off 5th.
Wow,
you know what I mean,
it's crazy that already. You know, 7 points off 5th. You know. And Villa got, I think who have Villa got next? I even have to check Villa's games now. Nottingham Forest away. They'll win that, man. Oh my God. Wow. Why am I even bothering to check, man? They'll win that game. Oh my God, man. We got to beat Fulham, who are great this season. But they'll turn into
the only positive is Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's the only thing that kind of Mud Brothers, isn't it?
Yeah, Mud Brothers. Yeah. Literally. I mean, yeah. That's it.
Like I say to you, Saeed, don't laugh at other people's houses on fire when you've got an inferno in your kitchen. That's all I can say. Do you know what I mean?
That's the best way to wrap it up, guys. It's been a good therapy session. If you haven't enjoyed the therapy session, I don't know what you want me to do, but yeah, please smash the like button on the video. We've just hit, I think, 1,000 likes. What are we on right now? 1.4K, and there's still 2,200 in here. And we had a peak of 3,000. So big up to everybody who's been here to come to therapy, man. It feels like therapy rather than, you know what I mean, joy and happiness on here. You know what I mean? It might be just therapy, you know what I mean, just for the season. That's what it might be. You know what I mean? Like, so it's been a good one, Ash. Pleasure to see you again. And yeah, big up to you, bro. Let them know.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. Ash Meppers over here. Just, that's it. Type it into whatever you want and you'll find me.
Yeah, there you go. Flawless, man. I know you're definitely live tonight. Sarcasm City people, get him to 10,000, man. You know, I mean, there's 2,000 people here. You know, I mean, we should be able to get his numbers up, man. So
love that.
Make sure you follow Sarcasm City, man.
Yeah, man. Sarcasm City TV people. Make sure you do live every day. So make sure you subscribe. And go subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV gaming YouTube channel as well. That's where I'm going to be running FIFA and amongst other things. So that's Sarcasm City TV gaming. But yeah, like Saeed said, Sarcasm City TV as well. Big up for having me as always, Saeed, man. Much appreciated, man. Much love. Shout out to Ash. Good to have Double A back as well. I've missed having Double A here. Always add levity to these situations. Man.
Yeah.
I actually feel better after this. So yeah, man. I love to the chat as well. Love to the chat.
Yeah, big up.
Shout out Matt K in the chat, by the way. I like that guy. That guy, Matt K in the chat. Good man. Top man.
Matt K. Yeah, there you go.
Is that your burner account?
Did he come?
Yeah. I'm telling you. Big up to you, mate. And then Double A, man. Good to see you as always, mate. Big up to you, man, for coming on, man.
Good to be back. How's the new camera looking, by the way? We're looking a bit.
Oh, mate, you look mega.
Yeah, man, come on. Fresh trim and all that.
I'm not. I need one. My hairline's looking a bit mad, actually, to be fair. Anyway, big up to you, Saeed. It was good to see you today, brother, as always. Ash, good to be on here first time, mate. Really enjoyed it. That's Flawless, my guy, as always. So whatever you're doing, before I speak about myself, make sure you're subscribing to these guys, liking these guys' videos, following them on everything, because they are all brilliant. Let's just call it what it is. Best chat on YouTube as well. Big up to you guys. I have to say thank you so much. I was expecting it. Not one.
Yo, you man, I got a dip because I got to run the back again, pod. But big up to you, man. Love, just
come on, bro. Love, come on, bro.
Love every single time. Yeah, bless
you too, bro. Always.
Thank you, bro. Not one Gavardio shout. I'm so happy I got through a show without one Gavardio.
No, I saw it. There was a Gavardio shout.
Was there?
It was. Yeah, there was.
There was.
Oh, I didn't see
Sorry,
it.
mate. Just
all right.
keep honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you've enjoyed anything I've said tonight and you fancy watching a bit more of me, AAFC on YouTube. There's loads of these in here, so I think you should at least. I've not even got 200 subscribers on there, so you should at least be getting.
Let me put it in the chat as well.
200 at least. Yeah. I mean, 500 would be fantastic, but go over there and check me out. I'm ranting all the time, pretty much at the moment. That seems what is going on. There's a few videos going up. There's one going up this week. Top 5 Premier League legends that Manchester United should have bought, and it's a good one. So go and check that out. Subscribe to me, AA Football on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. Talking Kit, if you like your kits, obviously we do that. Stan Chow, big, does all the artwork for the United signings. He picked his top 10 United shirts, so we ranked. So yeah, Talking Kit as well. Go and check out them channels. That's where I am. I bless you all. Hope you have a good weekend. I know it's a bit shit being a United fan. But there we go.
Yeah, it is. But listen, people, you're here to support the Saeed TV army and the channel. Big up to everybody who's here. Check out the vlog if you want to. Check out the match reaction. And yeah, man, I'll see you tomorrow midday. I got Lee Gunner tomorrow, probably gonna cook me. Sava's gonna cook me. LB's gonna cook me. And Goonie might not be cooking because his team is shit anyway. But I'll see you midday tomorrow and the Straight Jacket podcast tomorrow as well. I'll see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.